Born in City Heights, East San Diego, and I've pretty much seen that neighborhood every day of my life since. I'm a strong believer in the idea of if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with others. Right? You start seeing like, oh shit, I accidentally did the right thing. You get what I mean? Accidentally. Because that's one thing I always wanted, bro. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to do, bro. It's just really how it went, bro. It was just fuck it. If we lose the money, we've never had it anyway.
Welcome to another episode of the Big Umbrella Podcast. That's Big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's Big with 2 G's, the Big Umbrella Podcast. And we here in Kutthroat, what we say, studios or barbershop?
We're going to call this one, this is Kutthroat Tattoo Studios.
Kutthroat Tattoo Studios here in North Park. And we got J.TERALTA in the fucking building, man. What's going on?
I appreciate you, man. How you doing, man?
I appreciate you. It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a minute, but we finally got the time and figured out how we could get it going, so we got them on.
Yeah, schedules are matching right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you a busy man.
I try to be, man.
100%.
Yeah.
So we already touched on a lot of different things, but I always like to start off with where'd you grow up in San Diego? I know you said touch on City Heights.
Yep. So
what was that like for you out there?
I grew up in City Heights, East San Diego, which from where we're at now is 2 minutes down the road.
Right. So it almost makes sense that you got this shop here.
Yeah, exactly. And I have one in my neighborhood too. Yeah. That was actually really important to me. I'll be honest. I think where I grew up is one of the biggest indicators or motivating factors on why I ended up doing what I was doing. But I've always had a lot of pride in my neighborhood. And like I said, I haven't said, but my mom owns property in that neighborhood. I literally grew up in the house my mom owns. I lived every day out there. And I remember growing up, it was kind of like no one ever felt good about saying they were from East San Diego. You get what I mean? Like anytime you tell someone from City Heights, like, oh, that's the ghetto. Yeah, it's the ghetto for sure, you know, and you don't realize till way later that that taught me everything I needed right there. I wouldn't change that for the world, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, bro, born in City Heights, East San Diego, and I've pretty much seen that neighborhood every day of my life since.
And you said that you grew up there with your mom owning property. I don't know if you was able to see what that change was like for you as a youngster.
Oh, yeah.
But now even thinking back, like even there's people still to this day that don't own no property. What was that like? And how did she even get to that point to owning property?
I'll tell you that I realized later that was like a real just like difference in the way that I grew up. Though I grew up in that neighborhood and I grew up on that block and I didn't have any different upbringing in my financial status, right? I did realize how much different my life was because I at least didn't have to worry about having somewhere to lay my head at. That I did notice. What does that mean? When I was a kid, if my mom didn't want me outside with everybody, come over to the house. You get what I'm saying? It was always, that was the blessing where it's like, now I realize it, but as a kid, that's the only thing I probably realized. Oh, like I got somewhere to be at. And I remember going to my friend's house and it's like, hey, you got to go home at this time, or you guys can't do this. Or there was like, no offense, a lot of people living in the house, right? And stuff like that. And that was the one situation that I grew up realizing was a little bit different. You know, like if you were to see this house, I'm on a block where everything is apartments. So you got my little house and you got an apartment complex next to me on both sides of me, and they both face me like a coliseum. So I am what they see. You get what I mean? So I always remember growing up in the situation. But I think that kind of did put me ahead in the way where I think I had one step forward, right? In the way where they taught me that, man, they came hard. My parents came to this country. They both immigrated, you know, they're both.
And you grew up with your moms and your dad?
I did till maybe about like 14, 15.
Okay.
So I did have my mom and my dad, and they were working hard, bro. They're immigrants, and they both were holding down regular jobs, bro. And I remember how much they sacrificed, like that normal sacrifice if they work all year to go to a 2 weeks vacation. You get what I mean? And stuff like that. But I did realize that they were doing things a little bit different than everybody around me. And I guess I soaked it up in time. You kind of realize like, oh shit, that shit hit me too. But I remember they instilled that like, it can be yours. You get what I mean?
Right,
like
this
my parents,
is possible.
Yeah, my parents didn't want to rent. They didn't want to do all that. They were like, hey, this isn't the biggest house. This isn't the biggest neighborhood, but we can't be kicked out of here. And I think that really instilled something in me that I didn't know then. right? But
Right.
then you realize later in life, I'm like, oh, that's why I'm like that. You get what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But more than anything, man, the only thing that really helped me on was it gave me what am I trying to say? It gave me like a structure and a foundation that couldn't break.
Right.
And you don't realize that that's a big leg up, man.
Ownership.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were getting evicted, kicked out, moved around the neighborhood a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you realize you don't do that, that's a blessing. You get what I mean? That's probably the one blessing I got out of from my parents owning that property. You get what I mean?
Did you grow up with siblings?
I do. I have one older brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's 8 years older than me. He's on my team. He's the one that does everything on the media side. So anything you see Cutthroat Media or RSVJR on Instagram, he does all that for me. Growing up with an 8-year difference,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's that like growing up a big bro?
bro, it was gay. You know what I'm saying? Like he would fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? He would treat you like a little brother was. And I ain't gonna lie, at the time I didn't realize too, man, I'm growing up. I'm a little pudgy kid. He's trying to just make sure you got that thing
Right.
in
He
you.
kinda
you
toughing
need,
you up a little
for
bit.
sure. But at the time you don't see nothing like that. So you end up getting that feeling of like,
You're like, damn, why you always fucking with me?
yeah, like it's like every time you come into the room, it's like, get the fuck out the room,
Like,
and
man, I'm just trying to come say what's
yeah,
up.
it's like, and at times like that, people like your dad and your older brother, they're like your heroes, So I definitely grew up with an older brother, and I mean, no beef, no nothing, but it was one of those things that it was such a, what am I trying to say? Just a big gap in between our age that we didn't have the closest relationship. Our relationship has become close in the last 3 or 4 years.
Oh dang, it took all the way
It
that
took a
long.
while, bro. I'm not gonna lie. My father passed away recently, like 2 years ago, and right before all that, like we were dealing with a lot of his health stuff, and that's kind of when we everything got back
Right.
together. And he was living in LA for a long time, so just recently he moved back, and everything. It's like everything hit at the same time. I needed the kind of shit he's good at, at the right time. And I won't lie now, bro, he's probably one of the most important pieces of this whole Cutthroat thing, all the behind the scenes. Like I told you a little earlier, he's working right now while I'm chilling here talking about the brand. He's over there making moves, making sure that we're ready for tomorrow at the other shop. So it's a blessing, but I feel like if it didn't happen how it happened when we were kids, you know what I'm saying, then we wouldn't have ended up here either. Like we appreciate each other now. Where when I grew up, bro, I won't lie, I couldn't stand it. You know what I'm saying? It's just how
Like
it
you're
was.
saying, you were seeing that as he always picking on me and talking shit.
Of course.
Instead of like later on was like, okay, I kind of saw the play he was trying to make. But me as a youngster, I'm like, I see this motherfucker always talking shit.
Yeah, like, bro, why don't you fuck with me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Just like that, like, why don't you fuck with me? But you realize it had nothing to do with that. And then I ain't gonna lie, bro, I don't think I want someone 8 years younger than me around me right now.
Right. You're like, yo, you just like, even when he talking, like, bro, you don't even know what the fuck you talking about,
Come on,
man.
bro. You know what I mean? And you don't realize that you're a kid. But long story short, yeah, man, that was it. So it was just me and my brother moved out when he was 18. And I'm 8 years younger than him. So like I was 10, 11, bro. Yep. So for a long time, like my whole adolescence and that whole time frame when
kind of like an only child.
Yeah, bro, I was an only child. I'm gonna tell you, I grew up like an only child, bro.
And I am an only child.
Yeah, so you understand how it is. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. There ain't nobody else to fight for plates there, So I got what I needed. You know what I mean? It was cool. I ain't gonna tell you that anything was that special. You know what I mean? But it was all focused in on me, and I think, like, again, I ain't gonna lie that I didn't realize those things when I was a kid. I got a house. My parents are focused in on me. A lot of the people around me aren't in the same situation. And I think that kind of led with on why I have this whole, like, I kind of, responsibility is important to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where, like, if they were down to go fuck something up or break some windows, or the homies, right? Like I just wasn't down with that, man. I remember at the time it felt like you're being like a little bitch or something like that. But I remember, like, none of that felt right to me. You get what I mean? Like,
and that was gonna kind of lead to my next question. With you growing up and they're like, oh, you live in City Heights, that's the hood and shit. What kept you from wanting to even stray along that path, or did you stray along that path?
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you, I was lucky also in the way where I grew up on obviously in East Side on 44th Street, and at that time, bro, like, there was a lot of gang activity. You got 4 different gangs around there, and this and that, but everybody was around there. And I remember just being a kid, it was one of those things where I didn't really ever see it like that was something that I wanted to be part of, in the way, like, I respected it. Like, it's cool to appreciate where you're from, right? I love that. Like, that part about gangs to me is pretty beautiful, right? It's like, at the end of the day, bro, it's like, this is our
They repping
neighborhood.
their city.
Of course, bro. And to me, that was dope. But I did see that it comes with limitations, man. And, you know, at the end of the day, no one's trying to be in jail. No one's trying to deal with all these things. And unfortunately, man, the most successful people I've ever met in that industry, they didn't succeed for a long time, man. And I think I just saw that enough growing up. And some of the homies that were into all that, I feel like they even shunned me from that, you know, where it's like, hey, bro, that ain't for you. And at the time, I kind of felt like, you know what I mean? You feel some kind of way about it. Like, what? Like, you know, like, what's
like, yo,
up?
I thought we was homies. Like, I'm trying to do what you're doing.
Yeah, but, you know.
They seen something bigger in you. They was like, yo, this ain't the move.
Yeah, in retrospect, I think that's honestly what it was. And I appreciate it, bro. There's a lot of people that I talked to this day that knew me then, and they didn't, you know, they're not exactly like, damn, I knew you were going to make it, but they're definitely like, you know, what we were doing wasn't for you. And I think I appreciated that. You know, I didn't exactly escape everything, bro. I started smoking weed when I was like 9.
Yeah.
You know, I did stuff like that, but I didn't really get into any trouble, you know, and it's something that I'm proud of even to this day, bro. I don't got a record. I don't got none of that.
Yeah.
And though I look the way I look and I'm very involved in my culture and I like tattoos and all that, man, I can walk into a bank. I can get pulled over. I can do any of these things, and you can't stereotype me.
Yeah.
You can on paper.
Exactly.
You know?
Like you said, you could look at me and say, oh, he probably got this, and the third. But if you really pulled me over and got to look at my record,
yeah, bro,
that motherfucker clean.
Yeah, bro. I just got my concealed carry license. That tells you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good, you know? Like, you know, and I guess now I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? But, you know, don't get me wrong. Super proud of my neighborhood, but I'm glad I didn't have to necessarily go that route. You know what I mean? And I'll also say that my dad and my brother, they fought pretty hard to keep me away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't work for long, of course, right?
Yeah.
But they tried, man. They tried their best.
And what was high school like for you?
High school was dope, man.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Hoover High School.
Okay, for
yeah,
sure.
So I went to Hoover High School, which personally I think is one of the, like, you know, it's one of the schools in San Diego that you know, they come with a little bit of what am I trying to say? Like a little bit of a reputation.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Especially when you was there. It was jumping.
Yeah, it was jumping, bro. And I'm not going to lie, bro. At that time, it was very deep brown against black.
Oh, yeah.
Deep, bro. Like, it wasn't even cool type shit, you know? Like, riots, all of that, bro. I remember crazy shit happening, bro. And that's probably the only thing that I didn't like about that time frame, right? It makes you kind of, like, choose, right? But I feel like I was fortunate where I grew up, and on the block I grew up too, bro. Like right next door to me, bro, I had crib homies. There was all this stuff. So I don't think I grew up being cool with picking sides. So I spent a lot of time outside of school. So Hoover High School is maybe 3 blocks from my house where I grew up in. So I would ditch a lot. I wasn't at school. Anyone that went to high school with me, they'll for sure tell you that I didn't hang out with them. I didn't go to parties.
Yeah, I didn't even see him there that much.
Yeah, bro. You might have, like, a lot of people tell you in school, like when I was in high school, I started a little clothing line at the time. And, you know, I was always a little hustler. And I was definitely different, bro. My background was crazy, bro. I listened to everything from hip hop to classic rock to all kinds of shit. So at the time, I was a little more into my rock shit, you know? So,
what was your hair like?
Bro, I had crazy hair, bro. There was times I had punk spikes. There was times I had short haircuts, you know, that were like, you know, regular tapers.
Yeah.
Bro, I went everywhere with it. You know what I'm saying? Shit to show people right now, bro. My hair's crazy right now, bro. I just came back from a barber event, and, you know, barber events are a little different. You got to stand out in a different way. So I did a little something crazy just to, you know, be out there or whatever. But my hair was crazy, bro. I was crazy. I'm pretty sure anybody that knew me in high school wouldn't expect my direction now to be exactly where it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think you naturally settle on things that fit you the best and feel the best, whatever. But long story short, in high school, I stayed out of trouble because I wasn't there. And other than that, I was very involved in music. So we were in the drum line. You know, Nick Cannon.
I was about to say,
yeah, just like Nick Cannon, bro.
That's when he went with the...
Yeah, me and all the homies, bro. That's what we would do. And it was tight, man. We had a lot of freedom because of that. So, like, freedom in the way. So you're in the drum line. That means you're involved with all the sports events, all the, you know, ASB stuff.
That's crazy. You was in drumline.
Yeah, bro. When you and you know, when you're practicing, they send you off to the field to just go fuck around.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, that shit was cool because I think that was one of the first things that taught me leadership. Right. So my situation was like this. I got in the drum line maybe like 10th grade. Right. I didn't know shit. You know, by junior year, I got a little better. My situation was just like Nick Cannon. If you ever seen that movie,
oh hell,
I never learned how to read music, so I would just be looking at someone else and trying to copy it. And I did realize at the time that stops you like at a certain point. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And long story short, I always kind of had a little bit of a confidence. So by the time like junior year came up, I'm higher in the drum line now. I'm playing like quads and shit. And I remember senior year comes, bro, and I won't lie, I was like, yo, I just straight up said, yo, I'm leading this shit. And I
And
remember
that was progressively.
Yeah, I remember the teacher being like, nah, like I don't think you're ready for it, so I'm gonna make you co-leader with somebody else, bro. But
that's just like the goddamn Nick Cannon
yeah,
story and
bro,
shit.
like it was straight up, and again, Ryan gonna tell you I was this crazy like prodigy or nothing, not at all. I just really liked it, and like to me, I like the idea of kind of quarterbacking something and whatever. So long story short, I was in drumline, man. I did that the entire time. And I was lucky in the way where, I'm not going to tell you I was popular. I wasn't involved in nothing like that, but I was definitely known. You know what I mean? I was cool with everybody, bro. You would see me with the basketball players in roast sessions. If they see this, they'll tell you straight up. You're like, bro, I was there roasting with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was over there, same thing with the other dudes playing guitar. And I was over here with these people and those people. And I think I just never really picked sides in anything. So I skated by high school pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And another thing that I didn't realize until later is I was always pretty smart in the way that I was like in the what is it called, like the gifted classes, like what are they called, advanced, advanced.
I know exactly. I just don't know the word for that, but I know
exactly
what you're talking about.
And I never realized till later, but I was the kind of kid that I wouldn't come to school that often, but I would ace tests and stuff like that. So the teachers would kind of like be cool with me or whatever. But that shit went so far, like I thought I was gonna just get away with doing that for so long that by the time senior year hit, bro, in senior year, I'm doing the drumline thing. Everything's going smooth. And I'm thinking that like everything's going to be cool. I'm going to graduate and all that, bro. And they hit me like 2 months before graduation. They're
you
like,
ain't got enough credits.
Bro, you're missing a couple credits. You are not graduated on time. And I remember that was the first time like I broke my mom's heart. She had invited like family, from Mexico, like all this kind of shit, bro. And I had to be like, yo, I ain't going to graduate. And I remember after that, bro, everything really changed in the way where maybe my mom hella believed in me then. It was just kind of like, I don't want to let her down again. I see the way the direction's going, and she was let down, bro. And I didn't want to do that, So when I got out of school, I ended up just going to night school, knocking out those packets, you know what I mean? And I ended up turning them in, and I never went back to find out what happened.
What you mean?
So like imagine I'm in night school and all that, and it's like literally turn in this packet, turn in that packet, come back, and like everything gets processed and you're gonna get your diploma, right? I turned in these packets, bro, and I won't lie, at the time I had like my girlfriend at the time help me with all that. And I was like, bro, her handwriting was all nice and shit. And I just assumed they're gonna be like, this is bullshit. Yeah. So I just like didn't go back. Okay.
So you had to do all that work, and then you was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
I ain't even going back for that diploma.
And then I said, fuck it, bro. In my head, I'm like, you know what? I don't got a diploma. Let's just see what happens. And directly from there, bro, like I told you at the time, I was doing a little clothing line in school. I was already screen printing t-shirts. And I decided to go.
What was that clothing line?
So this is fucking retarded. This is nothing people in high school are gonna be thinking is hilarious. But the clothing line was called Naji. Like the idea of, I remember talking to my homies, bro, and I'll be like, man, I want to start a clothing line. And they'll be like, oh yeah, what are you gonna name it? And I'll be like this and that. And I remember one time the homie was like, nah, G, that ain't it. You know what I mean? Straight up, bro. And I won't lie, bro. I went home and I just kept it. I was like, nah, G, nah, G, nah, G. And I could never come down to a name, bro. But the thing is, I had this design, like people in high school would probably like remember, but I made this design, which nothing special, bro. But this is 2006. You feel me? I made a shirt where like, I just printed like the San Diego skyline. Yeah. I printed that on the bottom of the t-shirt, like on the hem. So that's it. It's just right here. And in the building windows, I put nah G, like, like that, like just put it in there. The shittiest designs you can think of, bro. I was nothing crazy, But I printed them and I started selling them, bro. And people were giving me $20 a shirt. And that was one of the first time where I was like, damn, I don't got so weed. I can sell this, But because of all that, I naturally just, I had signed up for fashion school before I didn't get my diploma.
Oh shit.
So bro. So I showed up at fashion school and it took about 2.5, 3 months before they realized I didn't have a diploma.
How the fuck it take them that long for
I don't know, bro. And I'm gonna I appreciate that happened because I had 3 months of fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, between me and you, bro, I was in fashion school, bro. I was in a school of like 300 chicks with 3 dudes, and 2 of them were gay, and I wasn't one of
That's
them. You get what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so at the time, like, I was
He's
distracted,
like,
bro.
bro, I'm
I was
having a great time
distracted,
in
bro.
fashion school.
I was for sure distracted, man. And they ended up, I remember one time they walked in with a security guard, like, hey, can we talk to you? Took me to the thing. They're like, hey, you don't got a diploma.
It's like, damn, you got to talk with the security?
You got to dip out, bro. And another thing, that was like the second time I fucked it up with my mom. She obviously like was paying the like money for me to be in school, you know? So here I go, no diploma, fucked up the college thing. You feel me? And, like, obviously, so that's high school, and then after that, you know, I got kicked out of college, and pretty much after that, bro, I just ended up becoming like anybody else and just starting to work regular jobs, you know, and stuff like that.
What established the business mentality? Because you was already thinking about how you want to sell shirts for yourself, and you know other little business you had going beforehand. What even established that for you?
So I can break it all down to probably like my parents' divorce. Okay, so
how old were you when they got divorced?
Like I said, I was probably 15.
Okay.
Right. Which is right when I started this clothing stuff. Right. This is like sophomore year. Right. So this brings it back like a tiny bit. Right. But so what had happened was I was already kind of into clothes and I want to do my own thing, and something to throw in there that I did. And my mom, my dad would paint jobs. My dad was a auto body and paint guy. So he would be painting cars, lowriders, shit like that. Like, he painted cars. My mom she worked a regular job, but she was a seamstress by trade. So she would always tailor my clothes, stuff like that. So I already kind of had that like thing of making things fit, you know what I mean? And all that. And I'm sure that was her just trying to make things fit me, you know what I'm saying? And all that. But what I'm getting at is when my parents split up, it was one of those situations where my dad and her like split whatever money they had. You know, like, it's a full-on divorce, you know? So they split whatever money they had. And that was one of the first times we realized, like, oh shit, like, you know, my parents are good at saving, you know? Because like, pretty much, I guess my dad ended up going away probably like $100K or something like that.
Damn.
And then that means, like, you know, my mom got $100K or something. I'm just thinking, like, bro, I don't feel like we got money like that, you know? And,
he said they was good at saving like a motherfucker.
And you look at it now, that's still a lot of money.
Hell
you feel
yeah.
me? So I'm just kind of like, okay. But I won't lie, bro, I had a relationship with my dad, which it was kind of like, it was the hard relationship, the like don't be a bitch relationship. Like, get up in the morning and work and this and that, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a kid, so I wasn't trying to do that all the time. And me and my dad had a rocky relationship in the way where it'd be like, hey, help me do this or something. And as soon as I'm not feeling it, bro, I'd be getting socked in the chest. You know, it'd be like real shit, you know? And so me and him didn't have a great relationship. So I believe that when they broke it off, and he went on and did his own thing and stuff, I think he was trying to make up for lost time. And pretty much he offered me, because he saw me that I was printing t-shirts and all that at the time. They helped me get that stuff originally. And when I say printing t-shirts, bro, it's not like now I got a setup, you know? Printing t-shirts then for me was 2 hinges on a piece of wood. And I would just put the screen down, and I would fucking heat I would dry the logos with like a blow dryer. Like, not at all how you do it, bro. You would wash my shirt, that shit would come out. Like, shit like that, right? But I guess my dad saw me doing that, and he offered me a situation where he's like, look, how about I help you open up your own business and you can print t-shirts? And this is after fashion school failure. You get what I mean? And I'm like, well, fuck, all right, why not, right? And this is now 2008. So 2008, me and my dad got a little location, which is in City Heights, still on like the 54th and El Cajon Boulevard side. It's still there now. It's called Lavish Tattoo. Behind that, there's like these little couple buildings. It's like, we used to be back there. And we used to print t-shirts and stuff, bro. And I remember my dad did it all legit, where he put some money in an account. He went and got some business credit cards, and he gave me one and all of that. And he was like, you know, everything needs to be used just for business and all of that. Bro, you give a 19-year-old a card for $10,000.
That's what I'm like.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I went to fucking Walmart and fucking, at the time I got my own little, like, you know, I'm living in my own apartment and shit. Bro, I've went to Walmart and made my house look fire. You know what I'm saying?
With that fucking business credit card.
Bro. And by the time my dad found out, you know, he's pissed. And business wasn't really working out. If you go back to 2008, that's the first recession.
Right.
Not the first one, but the real one.
A real one.
And you got to think about it. If people are losing money everywhere, bro, ain't no one spending money on t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is back then before entrepreneurship was what it was now.
Right.
Everyone now that has any business needs some t-shirts. You get what I mean? It wasn't like that then. So naturally, bro, the business started going down. My dad was like, hey, that ain't working out. And he ended up getting a hit to be deported. He did some shit a long time ago that they finally caught up to him, and he was just pretty much like, hey, bro, the business ain't working, so fuck it, let's not pay any of it, and I'm gonna dip off to Mexico and
see what happened.
He's pretty much was like, hey, obviously, you're gonna lose, you're not gaining anything, but you're not losing nothing. And my dad ended up dipping off to Mexico, you know what I mean, and living out there, and that was the end now of screen printing. You get what I'm saying? So if you count L's, like high school L, fashion school L, now my first business L.
And with your dad leaving, how was that? I mean, I knew you, like you said, you grew up and that shit was rough already. But when he left, was that for you like it's fucked up, or that for you was like, fuck it?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's probably like, fuck it. I wasn't mentally ready to process any of that. I was... if at this point I'm maybe 20 now, bro, I'm probably more interested in living my life, you know what I mean, than I probably was worrying about his. And my dad also came with a lot of issues, bro. He had substance abuse problems and stuff like that. So it was always kind of one of those things where it was like, hey man, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I love you and shit, but I'm not gonna say that it affected that much.
Right.
You get what I mean? But it affected later.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that big of a deal just because I'm not going to lie, bro. I probably was a way more selfish person at the time. And I can't say it hit me like that. Because it's just TJ. Like, he moved to TJ. So you don't look at it like that big of a deal. Like, oh, I can see you.
Cross or whatever.
Yeah, bro. And it wasn't that big a deal. But then, what fired from everything after that is then when you look back at it like, fuck, I shoulda. You know what I mean?
Because now it's like, now you can't at all, obviously.
100%.
And with you not being that close to your dad, did that drive you and your mom's relationship to be tighter?
I'm going to say that it always was. So my mom Dukes was always...
That's funny. I call my mom that too.
Yeah. I call her that, or I'll call her Old Earth, you know what I mean? But she always was... She was always there for me, man. I ain't going to lie. That's why when I fucked up, it like broke her heart. You get what I mean? She was there for me. She always believed in me, bro. Always, man. I can remember always. It didn't matter what I wanted to do, bro. She was there for me. So that relationship was always the same. But coming from that Mexican parent background, and like they expect so much of you because they gave their life pretty much to just be here, you can tell that it really hurt her and it bothered her. You know what I mean? Like, because at that same time, let's go back to that exact, like, as soon as I turned 18, bro, I started getting tattoos. You get what I'm saying?
What was your first one?
My first one
and
was...
not to even drive you off your story.
You're good. Is this I Love Lucy right here, which is my mom's name.
Okay.
So I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get my mom's situation
so
first.
at least she mad.
Yeah, it's like, but it was
I
you.
got it for you, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I ain't going to lie, it worked like a charm, bro. It worked like a charm. She didn't care. And then you start seeing things pop up around
like,
it.
Wait, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, bro. And I ain't going to lie, maybe 2 years ago, bro, and I've had face tattoos maybe for like 4, 5. When I do math, longer. I've had face tattoos for like longer, bro. Like 7, 8 years or something. But what I'm getting at, when I recently in the last 2 years, my mom, she doesn't have good sight or nothing. She was looking at me and she was like, "The fuck?" Like, she's like, "You don't got no space left. Like, what's right?" Pretty much like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Look, mom, it's too late." You know what I mean?
Yeah, there ain't no coming back.
Yeah,
from this.
I apologize, but I'm like, you might not understand. I tell people all the time, bro. I got face tattoos. I had everything already, neck, like head, all that, but I got specifically face tattoos because at the time I was a barber and I just thought I needed to throw myself out there and not give myself any other option. Like, if I don't make it doing this, then I'm a dude with face tattoos, and I'm not gonna be able to work here, work there. I just wanted to give myself that little fire. You know what I mean?
Didn't we have somebody over here that said that shit? Yeah, I thought we had somebody that said the same thing. They got that might have been Dizzy. Okay.
You're good, bro.
But go ahead. You gotta
no,
check
you're
your
good.
phone.
No, you're good. Yeah. So my bad to take it back to what you had said with my mom. I had a good relationship, bro. I've always had a good relationship.
That's me, man. Me and my mom just like
yeah,
that.
you know. I will say though, like, I can't say that either. Though.
That y'all not that tight.
Yeah. I'd love to. But when you like let down your mom for so long, you end up kind of putting a distance in front of you guys.
Because you're almost like, I don't want to keep doing that shit.
Yeah, like to put it like this, bro. I don't feel like I made it yet because I haven't taken care of all my mom's problems. I haven't done this, you know, whatever. Those are my own goals, right? She doesn't even know about these things. But I'm going to tell you that the person you're interviewing, she has no idea exists. That's how our relationship is, because she come like, bro, she don't got Instagram. She's not on stuff like that, right? I don't necessarily come and tell her all my wins because our relationship ain't like that. Like hers, like, I don't see it yet. But you know what, bro? She's not really mobile, nothing. She don't go around and see my shops. What you told me earlier, like, bro, I drove around and saw 3 of your shops just driving. She can't see that, you know? So, and I'm not going to go home, and when I've let my mom down for so long, I'm not in a rush to run over and be like, yo, your son made it. You get what I'm saying? To me, I'm more like, dude, I still got a lot of work to do. So what I'm getting at with that is I can't say I got that crazy relationship with her because a lot of the time, still to this day, I'm embarrassed of not being who I wanted to be for her. So that comes naturally where like sometimes I don't answer that phone call. Sometimes I don't. You get what I'm getting at? Like those things that don't feel good, bro. I would hope when you said you're tight with your mom and she called you right now, you'd probably answer, hey mom, I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I'll be with you. It's fucked up, bro, but I don't do that. Like I'll let that go to voicemail and I'll tap in with her later. And it makes me feel bad because that might be something serious, right? But I have this thing in me, bro, where like the world can tell me I'm successful all day, bro. But if my mom don't believe it, my confidence is
shot.
Yeah, bro. When I walk into that house, bro, I'm not, you know, J.TERALTA, the mogul. I'm just her son who she still hasn't been able to see that. You remember that? You've seen American Gangster. Remember when he walks her up to her house?
Yeah, man.
That's like my dream right there, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for me, that's what I need to get to. And anything other than that ain't enough because she did that for me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she did all that work already for us. So for me, it's not like she expects this. So not at all. Like, let me put it in that perspective. Course. She doesn't expect nothing but for me to help her out with what I say I'm going to help her out with. But for me, it ain't shit until I do that.
So, and I get everything you were just saying. Like, you don't even go in there and tell your wins and things like that. But like we touched on a little bit about your pops, you don't want to keep on waiting to get the big house to tell her that, oh, mom, we got the win, and then it's too late and you couldn't tell her about nothing else. And like you said, she don't even know this side of you now. So it's like you saying she not mobile, things like that. You got to show her that stuff now. And like you said, and I mean, I'm nobody because I don't even know you like that, so I'm nobody to tell you what you're going to need to do. But, you know, time is fucking precious. And who knows when that time and being if you able to then show her. And who know? And what if that wasn't enough for her?
Yeah.
She's seen that shit and she was like, damn, I had no idea you was doing this, and the third. But like you said, to you,
it ain't nothing.
That ain't shit. This ain't enough to show my mom. Yeah. But she see that shit and seen how many you're employing people. So it's even more than, it's a lot of different little shit that goes into the wins that you will be telling her about. Because you actually supplying, you creating a business where somebody else is able to pay rent at their house.
100%.
Type of shit. Yep. So that's a big win. So for you to go tell your mom that type of shit, I think that would be good for you to show her that and your success in your business and things like that as well.
It's definitely like in the cards. Like it's definitely something I'm starting to think about every day. Because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she is like not doing great, you know? So it is one of those things. It could be any day, it could be 10 years maybe. And I knock on wood, I hope, right? So I am feeling that little sense of urgency, I'm feeling that sense of urgency in that situation lately too. So I would say that I'm actually on that page where that's for sure in my plan right now. But it's sometimes like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, I just don't know how to package it up in a proper way, if that makes any sense.
It makes all the sense. But I feel you just don't fucking package up in a proper way. Because like you said, time is of the essence. So it's just like you waiting for this perfect moment and it gotta be like this and gotta be like that.
And we're waiting forever.
You may not never get that shit.
Yeah. I believe in that, bro. And you know how they say, you can give everybody else advice, but you don't ever take your own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unfortunately like that in some things too. You know what I mean? Where it's just like
sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, you've gone so far one way that you feel like going back is gonna, it's just gonna feel that. I guess that's one of the things I'm scared of a lot too, like it feeling unauthentic. You know what I mean? In the way where I don't want her to think I'm bragging. I don't want her to think that I'm like I'm trying to tell her, hey, the job's done. You know what I mean? And I think that search for perfection is probably what keeps me from not doing the daily things, because I won't lie. There's days where I just want to pop in, or days I just want to call her. But I won't lie where I haven't made it, bro. And like what I mean is there's still days, bro, where she's relying on me for something and I'm trying to finesse things to make it work. And it's kind of one of those things where like, if, I'm making it a real simple thing, but if my mom's asking me like for $1,000 today, it's kind of weird for me to pull up and be like, hey mom, I love you. I'll figure out that $1,000. I'm more like, I'm gonna pull up when I have the $1,000. You get what I mean? And it's just a double-edged sword. You're telling me one side, if something happened tomorrow, bro, I would be fucking bawling thinking I fucked it up. But then I'm also over here searching for perfection and trying to give her this beautiful American gangster scene.
Right.
You get what I mean? That we both know isn't realistic, and also probably won't hit like that either. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do believe that maybe these small things I got to start making time for and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't always like to push the narrative of being like this perfect person. I'm very good at the things that I'm good at.
Right.
But I'm very bad at a lot of things too. And I think unfortunately my home life is like that. I sacrifice a lot of home to be able to be the person that someone would want to speak to. You get what I mean? And I think that's what keeps me grounded in the way that I still go home to my real life, my real problems. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of way of looking at things is like the way why I feel like sometimes I don't do those things that you're saying. Because I agree, it's as easy as when I get off you calling her right now.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
So then that kind of brought me to my next question. So is it more scarier for you to show up and like, just say hi to your mom without a plan or anything, or waking up the next day and not being able to call her?
I think that would be a very obvious one. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not gonna lie that I don't think about that all the time. Like, because that is what happened with my dad. Unfortunately, rest in peace. My dad passed away a couple years ago, and though he might have not been the person I wish he would have been,
right?
It's pretty fucked up to not be able to talk to him now. And there's something even simple, bro. Like my father, I was a barber already, but like, bro, I had goals of like cutting his hair, all of these things. Like, hey, dad, I'm gonna cut your hair. Like, this is before I had a business, any of that. I was just like, whatever. And somehow time-wise, that never happened. I would go in a rush and this and that when I would go see him. And that's probably one of the simplest things where now I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I would have cut my dad's hair. I wish I could have just had that convo with him. I wish I could have showed him, because he was like, I'm sure I hope you're in the same situation. Like, my dad was the first person to take me to a barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I remember getting my hair cut, my dad next to me.
That was not my situation. Bro, I met my pops when I was 31. I met my dad this year.
Recently.
Yeah, recently. So that definitely wasn't my situation.
Okay.
I don't even, actually, first off, my mom used to cut my hair. I used to get my hair cut hella damn low, and she used to edge my shit up outside my grandma's house. Yeah. So that was actually my first fucking barber, real talk. And then after that, I ended up just going out and getting a barber and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you know Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, you got Catch This Fade barbershop.
Oh yeah, I hella fuck with Mario.
That's my barber. So that's
South Bay.
Yeah, that's my nigga from like way back. I remember when he was cutting like in Imperial Beach. First time this motherfucker cut my hair, I had him do a part of my shit, right? He did a part and that shit was too thick. I was like, oh, bro, you fucked my shit up. And he was like, oh, don't even trip. After that, like, I didn't fuck with him. I didn't go for a minute. And then some time went by, he ended up being my barber forever. He been my barber for like over 10 years.
Yo, big shout out to Mario, bro.
Yeah.
I 100% can say I know him. I know his character. I've been in Vegas with him. He's a very real individual.
Yeah, good dude.
He's a very good barber. I hope everything's going good for him and stuff like that, man. Yeah.
He definitely good dude. 100%.
Yeah, hell yeah, 100%. Yeah, nothing bad to say there, man.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And so then so that was your like you said, your first bit. We went over the first couple L's with your first business. What was your second business after that?
Okay, so immediately.
And did that succeed?
No, hell no. Immediately after trying to be having my t-shirt business,
Right.
I went to working a regular job with some people that I knew. And to be honest, in my life, I went back and forth to that job every time that I needed to. But I was a process server. You seen Pineapple Express?
Mm-hmm.
I did that, except no costumes, no nothing.
Yeah.
My job was to pull up to your door and be like, Frank,
You've been served.
you've been served by the best, my guy. You know what I'm saying? That was my job, bro.
Did they ever get physical?
It got weird a few times where I was pushed around. One time in Southeast, I got chased off someone's like lawn with a bat. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. You gotta think about it, bro. You're pretty much like the tow guy.
Yeah.
Ain't no one trying to see you, bro.
Exactly.
And the worst thing is that I already look like this, just minus any tattoos like above my neck. Everything else kind of existed. So you see me at your door, bro. You're not thinking it's anything weird, really.
Right.
You're like, especially, and they would say another thing. They weren't having me serve people in La Jolla. They're having me serve people in the hood. Right. So you see me at your door, bro. You're not thinking twice.
Right.
As far as like, you don't think you're about
He's coming here to serve me.
Exactly, bro. So I actually did really well at that. Not in monetarily. I was just good at it, you know. So I did that for a minute. I was a licensed process server, and pretty much that ran its course because I was working full-time process server, and I ended up from there starting. This is maybe like 2009 now, right? And dispensaries just started to pop out in San Diego and stuff like that. You remember that time? Medical card?
Man.
So I was...
You had a medical card for anything. They gave you a goddamn list of anything goes wrong.
Bro, I had it for anxiety, bro.
Man, you got a stomach ache.
I gained anxiety like 2 years ago. I had that card like 15 years ago, you know?
I remember that fucking card.
And I'm sure you remember, bro. This is the time where you get your card, bro, and you go hit the reader and go to every spot and get the free this and the free that.
That shit is so funny. You bring up the reader shit. Cause you go to the reader and that shit is free.
100%.
You go flip to the last page and they're showing you right there. Boom.
Everything. That's where I gotta be. And I'm sure you remember that time, bro. Like it felt crazy to walk into a store and buy weed, right?
Oh yeah.
So I remember,
and that's when they had the open container. You could open the
bro,
open whole jar.
It was an amazing time. In retrospect, right? So I was working downtown. That's where the offices were to the process server stuff. And I would hit this downtown dispensary all the time. It was called BCC, Beneficial Care Collective. Shout out to them. I still got homies from there to this day.
Damn, they still there?
No, they're not there.
Oh, I'm like, damn.
No, they that went away. But I mean, I met people that
right.
to this day, they're around. And what happened is, this goes back to kind of the drumline thing, but I always felt I could lead. I didn't have no proof I could, but I felt I could lead.
It was in you.
Yeah, I missed a little part. I told you. So in between, from in high school and opening my own t-shirt spot, I was working at Belmont Park, and I worked there for maybe 2-3 months before there was an option to be a manager, and I applied.
Right.
And I remember being in that thing, and they were like, "Hey, what makes you think that you can manage? You don't have ever had a job before this." And I was like, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not sure I can manage, but I'm going to tell you that I used to manage 30 guys playing drums every day. And it can't be any crazier than 12 people here running some rides.
Right.
And I think I told them like that.
Yeah.
And that situation made them, I think they respected it.
Like, oh, well,
bro,
shit.
they made me manager, bro.
Yeah.
And when I mean manager, bro, I was manager, bro. I had all the keys to this shit. I'm running the roller coaster. Like, it was cool, right? But all I'm getting to is that same leadership shit when it came to the dispensary, to being at the dispensary, right? So I was around so much that at a certain point, they're like, "Hey, bro, you want a part-time?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want a part-time."
Yeah.
Bro, what do you mean, 25%
It's like, y'all
off?
about to
Like,
give me the weed off?
bro.
I mean, a lot of time for free, shit.
Yeah, say less, right?
100.
And naturally, bro, I was a bud tender and shit. And at that time, you had like, you remember, like, I don't know if you remember, but like every bud tender has their own tip jar.
I was a bud tender.
Yeah, right. So like, I ain't lying, bro. I was making it happen.
Man.
Mouthpiece, this, that.
I feel you 100%.
Telling them this, like, I need this, bro. I was just telling you what you needed to. I was telling you what you needed to hear. They saw that, and then at the same time, bro, anytime that the what am I saying? The vendors would come in. Yeah. People selling the tree.
Yeah, I want to talk to him.
I wanted to just be in the mix, bro. And they couldn't get me out of there.
Yeah.
Right. I was just like, sliding in for bags. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you interested in the sativa? Yeah. Bro, we got this back here.
Yeah. And naturally, bro, long story short, at one point they're like, "Yo, like, you guys you want to step up in this situation?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to step up." So I stepped up in that situation. I'm working both jobs. And at the time, I had a homie at the time, bro. Unfortunately, ain't the homie anymore. But I had a homie at the time that was doing his thing, working some real estate, or excuse me, working some real estate or working some. He had like a maintenance company, something like that. Older dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 10 years older than me or something. And he was just like, "Hey, bro, what's up with dispensaries? What does it take to open one? What's up?" And he kind of put it in my ear, like, "Let's open up a dispensary." 2 seconds, bro.
No, don't even trip.
Yeah, we're good. So he's putting this in my ear, bro. I got the money. Let's do it. What is it gonna take? And I remember at the time being like, "Hey, man, I don't think we can even do it with less than 100K because just think about it. At the time, pounds were like 4K. You know what I mean? And you're just, yeah, bro. You're just trying to fill the shop, and that's already a lot of money, right? You're not talking about a lease, jars, cabinets, this, that, right?
Even all the little shit, the
shit,
bags,
bro. Yeah,
and
you
shit.
know, and even in those days, I could see like it's a lot more. These people are the people I was working for. It wasn't easy. They're making a lot of money, but they're putting in a lot of money and shit like that. So I remember being really hesitant, man. And long story short, one day he caught me on a day I was feeling myself, and he got me to quit both those jobs to go run a dispensary. And the idea was that, he'd put all the money up and I would still be like percentage owner and all of that. And to be 1,000, that the math made sense, right? So I was like, all right, let's do it. And we ended up opening up a spot in Chula Vista. That lasted about 3 months before we got kicked out of there. We opened up a spot in Paradise Hills, right on Rio, like right now where all the lowrider stuff happens and stuff, like next to the post office. Bro,
God damn.
we were right there, bro. If you drive by right now, I don't know if there's a barbershop there or there's like a water store. It was one of those locations right there. And we did our thing there for a while, bro. We were growing weed. We were selling weed. I was living a cool little life, bro. Like, I was single at the time, living in a house in Showtown, 5-bedroom house, growing weed in one of the rooms. My homies were roommates. We all worked at the dispensary. Fucking everything was pretty cool then, right? But again, I'm not gonna lie now. I like to blame everything on other people and stuff, but over time you realize your own faults. And there was things I wasn't doing correctly, you know what I'm saying? I was always making sure that I was doing good, you know what I'm saying? And I was taking time off and I was, bullshitting, bro. I was the manager, owner, and bro, I was fucking off, bro. What are you gonna tell someone that at the time, bro?
I run this shit.
I'm
you can't really tell me what time I need to be here.
Bro, I'm 22 years old, bro, and you know what's up. Who can tell you anything at that time? And in a position of power.
Right.
Shit didn't work out, bro. Long story short, we ended up getting a federal letter like close or else.
Cease and desist type shit.
Yeah, bro. And I'm gonna tell you again, I've always been the smarter. I let clear minds prevail. I said, I'm out, bro.
Like once I got this letter, I'm like, that's all the fuck I needed to hear.
I'm out, bro. You can continue to do this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you think you got it, you do what you got to do. And I just stepped away and I ended up just going and just growing weed. So I started just growing weed for a while and I would just serve other dispensaries.
What was your favorite kind of weed back then?
Bro, to this day, I smoke OG Kush. As OGs, you can get it to me. I want it to smell like pine. I want it to smell like lemon. I want it to be sticky. I want to put the blunt down halfway. Yeah. I don't want no shit that smells good, looks good. I don't want no girl weed. I don't want no sativa. I need you to give me indica, bro. That's what I smoke. And, you see that I need a nice thick one. You know what I mean? I that's my one thing to this day, bro. I've dropped a lot of my vices and I've gone up and down with vices, but I've smoked weed since I was 9 years old. And it's just something that I need. I need it, bro. Like, I wish I could stop, but I need it. But long story short, yeah, man, I smoke OG. I don't like edibles. I don't like nothing. I smoke weed, bro.
I have bad experience with edibles, and I never went back to that motherfucker ever.
And when I tell people, like I smoke weed, I realized recently, bro, I actually don't smoke weed. I smoke weed and tobacco. Because what I mean is I don't hit your bong. I won't hit your joint. I won't hit a pipe, bro. I smoke blunts. And I smoke backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like I might go smoke a Dutch sometimes, but I smoke tobacco, bro. But yeah, man, long story short, I was smoking lots of weed then, selling lots of weed, man. And right at that time, I ended up meeting my baby mom, and got her pregnant, naturally that happens. I got her pregnant really quick,
And you was a youngster.
I was 23.
Yeah.
23 years old. And At that time, bro, though everything I said I had that was great, it started going down, bro. People weren't buying my packs. I lost the house I was living in. I caught an eviction. I ended up back at
All the lows.
yeah, bro. Which I think everyone has different lows, right?
Mhm.
I don't like to ever compare, right? I can't tell you I was homeless, sleeping on the floor.
Mhm.
I was homeless, having to stay in my car a couple nights.
Right.
I ended up having to like bite my what am I saying? Bite my tongue and let my ego let me go move into my lady's dad's house.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine how that was, bro. And I'm telling you straight up, bro, him and her brother, fucking cholos, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're loked out. I'm from a whole nother neighborhood, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? And it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool at all, bro. Nothing about it was cool. I probably didn't make it more than a month and a half.
Oh, so it really wasn't
Yeah,
fucking cool.
bro. And at that time, well, the reason I ended up there because I tapped in with my mom, and my mom's like, I don't have space for you. I got
Yeah.
people renting rooms. Like, nope. And she had said yes my whole life, right? So
Yeah.
I had to respect it, you know. And I ended up being there, and I remember being like, yeah, this ain't it, bro. And luckily, someone moved out of my mom's house. And I said, fuck that, mom. Like,
going
I'm
back.
back. I'll pay you. I'll do whatever the fuck I have to do. I'll get a job or whatever. But I came back with a pregnant girl,
Mhm.
no job. You feel me? And I ended up going back to that process serving job,
Mhm.
right? The whole time my lady's pregnant. I stayed there to probably the day my kid was born.
Mhm.
I remember coming back and I put in a 2 weeks notice. And at the time, my lady had a decent job. And I told her, like, look, man, I'm gonna do my thing on the side. I'll take care of the kid. You go to work. That's what we're gonna do, you know. Naturally, that ran its course for maybe the first year of my kid's life.
Mhm.
And I was over it, bro. I was still trying to sell tree, bro. I had people up and down my mom's house, bro. I started to have, you know, if you've ever been part of that life, you know, you start seeing a car park too much in front of your crib. You start thinking about all these things. Like you start thinking like you're Tony Montana. You get what I'm saying? And it might not really be like that, but that doesn't mean that your anxiety levels aren't there
Exactly.
and all of that, you know? And also already living in City Heights, it's already burnt as fuck. You get what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
shit going on, all of this. So I was over it, man. And I mean, this will naturally roll over in how I became a barber, bro. So I left the weed game because it wasn't working. I can't tell you that, like, oh, bro, like I was
booming.
that dude for a while. For a while,
Right.
I was, but competition changes and all that kind of stuff,
People's
right?
prices may be
Of
going
course,
down
bro.
here,
You know,
and
all these natural business selection things happen. You know, so once it stopped working out, bro, I remember I was still slanging here and there, and one of my homies is one of my best friends, man. Is the reason I became a barber. He's still on my team to this day. His name's C's. He hit me up to bring me some weed to the barber school. He was in barber school. I was like, all right, I brought him some weed. We're in my car smoking, you know. And at that time, you know, again, like there's levels of doing bad for people, right? Though I'm doing all this, I was driving a nice little BMW. You know what I'm saying? I'm living at my mom's crib, but I got a nice little BMW. I'm dressing well, you know what I mean? Spending my money where I shouldn't, pretty much. You know, that's all it is. Like, you know what's up, man. And I remember being in my whip and stuff, and I remember venting. I must have been venting to my boy. You know, I must have been just venting like, man, I hate this and it ain't working out, and the game ain't the same, and you know all those shit that old heads be saying. You know, like, and I remember him just like hitting the blow with me and like looking at me. He came and gave me that look. I'm sure you got homies that sometimes look at you like you're an idiot. I remember that look, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He looks at me and he's like, "Fuck it, bro. Why don't you become a barber?" And I swear to God, bro, on everything I love, bro, I looked at him and I was like, barber. I was like, I ain't gonna be a fucking barber, bro. And I didn't even realize. I want to say sorry to this day. See, I looked at him like, bro, a barber? You might want to be a barber. I ain't trying to be a barber, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize I was a bad client until I became a barber. I was like, barber, bro. I give my barber like $20. Like, I ain't trying to be him. You know what I mean? And that was it. It was just a convo, a little spark he put in my ear that I completely shut out. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not going to be a barber.
And that brought you to like where you are now.
Oh, 100%, bro. That one moment in time, bro, me venting in that fucking BMW, Caesar telling me that I'm a fucking idiot. It's the reason I'm where I'm at right now, bro. I got to be 1,000 about that.
Did you lose a lot of people along the way from your success?
I don't want to say lose because I still love them and they still love me. But you got to be honest with them. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes people don't want to hear that they're bad fathers, that they're shitty husbands, that they're bad business people. You know, like I learned I had to tell my people those things. And sometimes that's like it tends to be like a frisbee. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you throw a frisbee, bro, and that shit just bangs a left and ends up over there at a tree. Sometimes you throw a frisbee and it comes right back, right? That's kind of how it's been for me. You know what I mean? Some people have X'd themselves out. And if they ever decided to come back, bro, I let them with open arms, bro. I had to learn a lot of things before I became who I am. So I don't look at it like that. But a lot of people left and never came back either, you know. And I hate to say, unfortunately, I like to keep up with it sometimes and hope they're doing well. But a lot of the times you don't really see that, unfortunately, you know. So I'd say I have lost people. It has affected me, but not really in a tangible way now. What I mean is, like, I still got those people in my life as friends, but I realize you can't really bring everybody with you. You know what I'm saying? You can lead them to water, but they're not going to drink. You know?
Exactly. Like they say for the horses and shit.
100%.
So what's been like, I guess, what's been the hardest part into getting in the business of owning a barbershop?
Okay. For me, the hardest part about owning a barbershop
and actually multiple goddamn barbershops.
Yeah, I guess I'll start with the first one, you know, because it's just, for me, it was just beginning. Okay. I think I'm lucky in the way where everything that I've done is a story. And it's a story that I'm happy to tell because it's true, you know. But
and how many barbershops you have right now?
Right now we have 5 barbershops.
For sure.
Barbershops 5. How I started my first barbershop was this. At this point, bro, let me backtrack a little bit to the day that Caesar told me to be a barber, right? So I remember driving back home and, bro, like having this like arrogance, like, yeah, fuck that, bro. I'll still sell tree. I'll do whatever I gotta do. Like, yeah, nah. Things got worse, bro. Money got a little funny, you know what I'm saying? My kids crying, you know, like it just, things were hitting in a different way. And I remember one day I said, fuck it. I drove straight to the barber school. And I was like, what's up, bro? Get me in here. And I remember him being hyped. Like, what? Hell yes, my boy walks me through all the people. I'm slapping hands. It feels tight. You know what I mean? And he walks me in there. And then they're like, all right, cool. Yeah, just come back with your diploma.
Ooh.
Let's go right back.
Diploma you feel again. Me? God, this brought you back to goddamn fashion school.
It brings me right back to the start of everything, bro. This is where it gets cool, though, man. Everything from here gets... This is what normal people would say, like, I believe in lots of things. Don't get me fucked up, man. But I think this is where a lot of people would be like, this was God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say, all right, fuck it. So in my head, I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to go get a GED. You know, it's been 10 years since high school or whatever it was, you know. I don't got no diploma. All right, cool. So I go to the fucking community college, or not even, it's like in the hood, bro, by the police station in City Heights. It's like a continuation school. I go in there, what do I need? Oh, I'll go to your high school and get your transcripts, right? So that they can know where you were at.
Exactly.
No problem. I show up to get my transcripts, bro. I'm sitting right there, bro. And they're like, yeah, take a seat. They're like, when is this? And I was like, it's a long time ago, you know. They're like, all right, we'll search. Bro, this lady comes back with my fucking diploma printed out.
What the fuck?
And me, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, how, why, all this shit? They're like, I don't know, but it says right here you graduate. That shit said high school graduate, like all of that. And I end up finding out later, you know, those packets I turned in?
Yeah.
It went smooth. I should have just came back. I would have got a diploma,
this
bro.
Motherfucker right here,
man. Yeah, dog. And
he had all the fucking work done.
This is where the
turned it in
and
left
back.
that shit. It was like, yo, if you would have came back, we would have had your shit for you right 100%, here.
100%, bro. And that's where I will tell you, that's the day where sense of urgency came for me. I was like, look, bro, I have wasted, at that time, I don't remember what it was, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of my life thinking I wasn't a high school graduate. That makes you move a certain way. You feel me? Like, you get what I mean? You don't apply for certain jobs.
You know, you can't apply because they're asking for this.
Exactly, bro. As soon as they gave me that, bro, I grabbed it and drove right back to the barber school, smacked it on the table, signed me up, you feel me? And here you go, bro. I'm in barber school, you know? I'm going to start speeding it up quick. I'm in barber school, bro. I real quick realized school wasn't for me. It's never been for me, bro. Right. I felt like I was a certain kind of person. So I didn't like people talking to me a certain way. I started doing things.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
I take like the way somebody talked to me.
It's just that. Yeah. It's how you talk to me. Right?
It'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then I'd be having to tell myself, all right, like, maybe she just fought back. Maybe I'm just tripping. But yeah, that be hitting me a lot. The way somebody talk to me I be having to check it a lot of time. I'm like, wait, what you mean by that? Or whatever.
That's what it was for me, bro, where I real quickly realized that you can tell when someone don't fuck with you, bro.
Right.
And that's how I felt. In retrospect now, bro, I'm cool with them at that school. Everybody there. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like I was a knucklehead. They might have still not they didn't like that knucklehead. But I'm not that person anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love now. Shout out to CBBC, California Barber Beauty College, same place. You talked to Sandro. Sandro went there. They're doing great things there, bro. If anyone that's going to barber school, I always recommend go to that school, bro. They're the ones. But when I was there, bro, I had a problem with authority and I couldn't take any kind of criticism. And they had this little rule, bro. This is how stupid it was, bro. This is how many times I've hindered myself. They had this stupid rule, which is like, hey, you got to wear black shoes. But it started after I had been there. You used to be able to wear whatever you want. Mm-hmm. So naturally, everybody was wearing, like, imagine all black Vans or all black Air Forces. It just had to be all black. And I won't lie, bro. I'm a sneakerhead. I've always been a sneakerhead, bro. I started coming with triple black foams, gammas, any set. You get what I mean? Like 5 fucking Black Cat 4s, like. Heat, bro. Fucking, I'm telling you, heat. As soon as they thought they were gonna like hold me down, like kick wise, bro. Heat, bro. I'm not lying. I was out there buying shoes that are all black, like heat. I'm telling you about. They probably didn't see me wear the same shoe for like 2 months straight.
They're like that,
heat, bro. Like to this day, like I don't have everything no more. But I'm talking about at the time I had hundreds of shoes.
Yeah,
you feel me? So I did that, bro. And naturally, that just led to people feeling some kind of way, them thinking I thought I was better than people, and I might have. I might have thought that, bro. And I didn't like it, bro. So I felt, you feel that vibe.
For that energy.
They don't want you there. I'm not the kind of person like, you ain't breaking up with me, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like that, you ain't firing me either, I'm out. Like, I'm out, So I hit him.
You didn't leave me, I left you.
Bro, I swear to God, not literally, but like, again, I like to put everything like movies and shit like that. You seen Half Baked?
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you, I'm out. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And I even remember that day, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That day when I was like, you know what? I was like, hey, how much to just buy my license? Let me get the fuck out of here. And they're like, oh, you can't do that, whatever. And I was like, what do you mean? I've seen you do that for other people, whatever. And that was out of pocket already too, They're like, nah, whatever. And I wanna say, bro, I remember, someone specifically telling me, you know what? It's not like you got it like that. Right. And I won't lie, bro. That day I had gone to the dispensary that day. I moved 4 packs. I had 15K in my pocket in hundreds. Right. I just hadn't gone home yet. 15K though. And another thing, bro, you know money, bro. It's that much money in hundreds. Ain't a lot. It was folded. It was a nice little knot. But when someone told me I didn't have it, bro, I had it in my pocket that day, bro. Drop that shit on the counter, bro. That's 15K right there. They're like, oh yeah, you still can't, whatever. Grab my 15K, bro. I was out that door, bro. That was it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
you have to like, hold up.
Yeah, just don't. What the fuck you ain't doing that for me. And I ain't gonna lie. Any other day that would have happened.
Yeah.
Any other fucking day.
But this day, like, bro, today you check my pockets?
Oh, today I had time. You know what I'm saying? And speed out of there, bro. I ended up leaving that school. It didn't work out. And I tapped in with a barber that was cutting my hair at the time, bro. And they took me in as an apprentice. And I did an apprenticeship there for about a year. I learned how to cut hair. They put me into barber battles. They taught me, honestly, a lot of stuff. I give those guys a lot of credit in retrospect, too. Back then, we got into it and, things happen for whatever reason. But I learned how to cut there, man. And then after that, I did what I call the barbershop tour that everybody does, bro. You end up going to a whole bunch of barbershops till you figure out which one's for you. I probably worked about 7 barbershops. And then this is going to speed up to answering your question of how I ended up with a barbershop. So I was working at a homie's barbershop, man, and I don't know what happened. Something happened with the lease or something, bro. And from one day to another, he probably must have known or something. But what happened is on a Saturday night, we all go home after a good day. He texts us, everybody, early as fuck Sunday morning. Hey, bro, I'm moving the shop. I got all your guys' stuff. Don't worry. It's going to be set up in a few days, whatever. Bro, just imagine like, wait, what? Bro, we know nothing.
Here yesterday, nigga. What you mean? And you got my shit.
That's that part. Mean? That part, the biggest part. And you got my shit?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. There's probably 5 barbers in that shop that worked there at that time that now are on my team because we were all in that same situation. Yeah. So all of us still stayed loyal, bro. For maybe 3 months after that, bro, we cut in our house. in the middle of the summer. One of the homie C's I'm talking about, he was cutting in his fucking kitchen at home. I was cutting in my garage that my dog lived in that smelled like weed, that was hot as fuck with no AC. And at that time, bro, I was already a barber. I had clients. People were coming, brand new clients, bro. And I'm just, imagine, bro, you're a client that books somebody on an app because I have amazing haircuts, and you show up to my crib in the hood with a big ass pit bull in the fucking shit, and I cut you in the garage, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to fucking my boy Brian. I still cut him to this day, but him pulling up first time with his wife and his kid and sitting in that fucking garage, bro, letting me cut his hair and not judging me and all of that, bro, that was like the last straw for me. So I remember venting to one of my homies that owned tattoo shops, and he pretty much like hit me one day. He's like, hey, bro, I found this spot. It's hella big. I don't think I can do just a tattoo shop. How do you feel about doing a barbershop in the front? And this is the shop I like, pretty much where I'm at now. And I just couldn't. Wait 1 second. Who's that? It's just checking on me. I pretty much just couldn't. I never imagined having a barbershop in my neighborhood. Okay. I didn't look at my neighborhood like that would be a moneymaker. I'm going to tell the world right now, I did not believe in my neighborhood. I was like, I know my neighborhood.
I'm going to tell the world right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys right now, I did not believe in City Heights. That doesn't mean I didn't believe in it as my hometown. I just didn't believe that that was where we could make money in. You feel me? Give and take another 2 weeks, bro. I was, fuck this garage. I can't be in here. What's up with that spot? Let's do it. What do I need? And long story short, bro, I needed $5K to get into this place. That's all I needed pretty much at the time. I didn't have $5K. I probably had like 2 G's. I borrowed 3 G's from my uncle in TJ. You feel me? And I built my first shop with $5K. And one thing that I remember doing that was probably like, to this day, is the reason I probably have what I have now. I didn't realize it, but my homie was trying to finesse me at the time. He was trying to buy everything and make me run it. Not own it.
Right.
Run it. I noticed that right away. And I was like, look, man, and I didn't tell him, but in my head, if I own everything, the day this fool wants to kick me out or do something stupid, at least all I got to worry about is getting 4 walls, and I still got a barbershop. Right? And that's why I didn't do that. So that led, I didn't have the money, bro. So the $5K was just to get some keys. So that led me, and again, shout out to my boy C's from everyone that was there at the start. I had a shitty chair in my garage that I was cutting with. I went to IKEA and bought $100 stand-up mirror. I went to the fucking hardware store and bought a toolbox. And I'm going to be straight up, bro. At this time, every barbershop now is working out of toolboxes. They weren't doing this then. This was us at a necessity. Like, it's just, for $400, we had a whole place to cut hair.
Right.
And for the first 2 weeks, bro, me and my boy shared the one station in an empty shop.
Damn.
One fucking station, huge ass shop, one station, bro. And we shared it. Back and forth. You do one, I do one, walk in me, one walk in you. By the end of 2 weeks, you know what we did? We put our money together, got another station. Now we each have our station. That led to my boy Frankie, who had worked with us for a long time, finally pulled the trigger. He came in as number 3. My boy Flacco, who is now a partner. He's one of the owners in the brand. He stays really low key in the back end, but he came with us. He used to go to barber school with us, and he came with us and became a barber. And just, started working with us. And all I'm getting at is we went from the one chair that we shared to, in about 1 year, we had 9 chairs. We celebrate our first year in business. We have a big barber battle. Everything's smooth. At this time, bro, I don't really you might be able to tell, I'm a big aesthetics guy. I like to make sure the places have a feeling, a look. That was the one thing I didn't like about that shop. It was set up like a traditional tattoo shop, which nothing against that, but that wasn't my look. Right. I'm a contemporary. I'm into different things, So that was always an issue. So long story short, bro, when I started trying to hook up my side of the shop, because at the end of the day, if I pay half the rent, this side is mine. I can do whatever the fuck I want over here. And that's how I looked at it. So I did. I started doing that. That ruffled feathers. And immediately after celebrating maybe I wasn't there for more than 1.5 years, bro, because I celebrated the 1 year late. I walk in one day, bro, and he hits me to his office or his room where he tattoos, and he just tells me, hey, bro, this shit ain't working. I need you to grab your shit and get the fuck out.
Just out the blue.
out the fucking blue, bro. And I remember looking at him like crazy, bro. Just imagine, like, you know, I was like looking at him crazy. I didn't say anything. And I processed this whole shit. And this is the part where it gets like a movie. I've told this story to people a bunch of times, and I don't think I'll ever tell it separate. Because this one moment, I think I can attribute everything that's happened to me to moments, right? So we're going to go moment one, Caesar in barber school telling me you should be a barber.
Right.
Moment two was that day, bro. So that day was a Friday. I remember it like yesterday. And it was a Friday, and I walk in, he tells me this bullshit, and I might have been the most gangster thing I ever said, but I just looked at him and I was like, all right. And I walk away, and he's like, and it was the middle of the month. I remember October 15th. And then he like, it's like he processes it a little bit. I already paid rent and all that. Mm-hmm. He's like, by the end of the month. So I got 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. All right. I walk through my shop, bro, and this is like literally like a movie. Just imagine you got barbers cutting on this side. It's Friday. Everybody's cutting hair.
Because it's Friday too.
Everybody's sitting on this side waiting for a haircut. Mm-hmm. I walk through my shop. Everyone that was there that day, they'll tell you, they're like, I probably walked through with that look on my face like I saw a ghost. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just defeated.
Yeah.
You know, I walk to the front of the shop. I have a little roach, bro. I light it, and I'm just looking at the front of my business, bro. And I'm looking at like, damn, this shit's over, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I had nothing saved up. Nothing. Maybe 3 G's, which is nothing, bro. Ain't gonna get you a new spot.
Right.
I'm sitting right there, bro, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And then this moment right here leads to things I talk about a lot. Number one is you just gotta kind of have that faith, you know, you gotta kind of know that things are gonna be okay and kind of go with the flow, right? And I remember being in front of the business and looking like this. And I always put a little bit of funny shit until I speak. But the truth is, bro, like, you look at me, bro, I ain't the kind of guy that I don't walk a lot. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the most active person. I look down the way, bro. I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm going to go take a walk. Like, I've got shit going on in my head. I walk a block down the street, bro. And now the building that we're in, that you probably saw in City Heights, that's huge. It's huge. Tattoo barber. Right. That one. I walk up on the business, bro, and it's in construction. Fucking dust flying out of the shit. Fucking things are going on. Like, dudes working, you know?
Right.
And there's this little Asian man in the front, bro, sweeping up. I walk up to him, and I must have vented to him for 30 minutes before he said a fucking word. Before I knew if he speak English. Before anything. And this fucking man, God bless us all, Phil Nguyen, bro, he's one of my mentors now. I talk for like whatever amount of time, bro, and he puts his arm on my shoulder, and he's like, relax. He's like, so you're telling me that you own the barbershop down the street, and if we walk over there right now, that shit is yours? Fuck yeah. I was like, all right, let's go. At this moment, I still don't know who the fuck this man is. Let's go. I walk down a block with him. I walk up, I'm like, what's up, y'all? You know, everybody's like, what up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, that's it. He looks at me, he sees it cracking, right? And we walk right back, and he's like, all right, man. He's like, look, I'm going to Vietnam in 2 weeks. This will be ready in 2 weeks. Just come before that day, sign the shit. He's like, no deposit. I'm gonna let you pay me that. Damn. Pay me that with time. Here's the space. And at the time there was 3 spaces, and the best one was taken. It was right on the corner, which, to bring it all, you know, we'll bring it back. I own the business in that one now too. You know, like I showed up in those 3 units. All of those are my businesses now. It took time to get there, obviously. But long story short, he's like, you can have this one. And I was like, nah, man, this is too big. I don't got the money to make this all happen. He's like, look, bro, that's what I got for you.
Like, I ain't got nothing else.
Take it or leave it. Everything else is, you know, someone else is renting it, whatever. And I said, fuck it, bro. And I won't lie, bro. This man just on a whim, on a conversation, on what me, bro, like this man you're seeing right now, he looks at me and he takes a fucking chance with me, bro. And he, you know, he gave me the spot and everything, bro. And we end up moving a block down the street. And when I say we moved a block down the street, imagine fucking 9 barbers rolling toolboxes over from one spot to another. Like no trucks, no, you know, carrying couches a block and a half down the street. Yeah. You know, and we didn't have the money, bro. And this is where I'm a big person that I'll get into it, but I believe in being ready for opportunity, right? What does that mean? It means if right now I tell you, bro, hey, bro, I'm going to sell my shop. I'm over. You got 100K? If you have 100K, you just came up. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you just missed out on an opportunity. Right. One of my barbers, which is Flacco, which I told you he's the owner now, he had told me like, hey, bro, all I do is save my money. A convo that happened maybe a year before that reminded me like, oh shit, this will save his money. I asked my friend, I asked my mom, I asked people I knew with money. Nobody said yes. You feel me? No one would let me borrow the money to make this happen. And I already had a business. You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
I walk up to this fool and I'm just like, hey, dog, you got 5K? And that was such a low amount of money, bro. Like now he's putting a lot more money now, but I'm sure he'll tell you maybe when the story's over, bro, he got in at the time he should have got in, you know? So I was like, yo, you got 5K? He had the 5K. That got us the keys, got us the place, got us to pay the fucking thing, got us to buy some extra chairs. And long story short, 9 chairs turned into 10 chairs. 10 chairs turned into 12 chairs. Now that barbershop has 16 chairs, and it's been at 16 chairs for 5 years now.
16 chairs.
Yeah, bro. And maybe people come in and out. I got like a 10% retention rate, retention rate. People come in and out, but I'm just gonna be 1,000. Yeah, bro. You do the math, bro. I charge a decent amount a week, and there's 16 people in there, bro. That led us to saving up a little money. So the spot that was next door to us, there was like this weird thing going on where 2 units were sharing 1 bathroom. So let's say you're coming to look at this location and you realize I got to share the bathroom with all these crazy barbers next door. He couldn't get someone to rent the spot at the time. And that neighborhood right there, it wasn't it yet. Now, bro, I'll tell you, anyone will take my space. I guarantee you they'll take my space. It's the best location out there. You know what I mean? But long story short, at that time, people weren't really fucking with it like that. So he asked me, he's like, hey, man, if I give you the unit next door, what would you do with it? And this is all like, this is opportunity, bro. This doesn't happen to everybody, bro. Like, it don't happen to everybody. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, look, man, if you take the unit next door, I'll charge you this amount of money. I'll give you 3 months for free, and I'll loan you 10 G's.
Damn.
Right? I was like, say less.
Right. That
say
sounds
less.
like
say fucking less, bro. You know? And then I'm like, and then he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, straight up, bro, look at me. All my homies are tattooers. I'm gonna do a tattoo shop. It goes with barbering. I showed him a couple of business at the time that used to do that. And it was working for them, you know? And he's like, all right, bro. Long story short, now this man gives me my second opportunity. Opportunity number 1 was me succeeding at the barbershop. I skipped one little part that when, I told you he went to Vietnam for 2 weeks. When he pulled back up, the place wasn't done. The floor was halfway done. But you know what there was? There was fucking 9 barbers cutting hair. Yeah. That shit hyped him up. I know it hyped him up. You know what I'm saying? He
saw the progression. He saw like the vision.
It's like they got what they need to do it. They just don't got the what am I trying to say?
The infrastructure wasn't done yet.
Exactly, bro. You know. And long story short, me succeeding at that gave me the opportunity for him to give me that, because I won't lie, I probably got the tattoo shop maybe 8 months down the line. That ain't a lot of time, you know. And once I got the tattoo shop, bro, then that was a whole nother thing. I got a $10,000 loan from him. I probably had like 20 G's saved up at the time, and we went hard on the tattoo shop, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't a tattooer. I thought that shit was gonna be easy. That shit was not easy, bro. It took me a while to get people that wanted to fuck with us, make people take a chance on us. Like, we're a brand new shop that is not known, that is not owned by a tattooer. That's normally how that game goes. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you go to a tattoo shop, at least there's a tattooer that is the main guy there.
Exactly.
I couldn't do that, bro. I had to hire that.
Yeah.
Right? So it took a lot of time for me to make that vision come to life. You get what I mean? Yeah. But that was the time. That was pretty much my second. I failed at a bunch of business before, but this is now like, all right, I got a second chance. So I just had that idea, like, I ain't fucking this up. You know what I mean? So all I did to make that work is I treated both businesses like they were one. The business next door was making plenty of money. This business wasn't making no money. So I added the rents up together. I have one higher rent. And instead of looking at like I got one failing business and one really cracking business, I'm like, I got one business that's doing okay. Right? And that's what I did. You get what I mean? And one thing that you'll see in my story that just rolls over, I come from not having money. And what I mean, bro, I can't tell you a time in my life, even when I had jobs and shit like that, that I ever had more than $2,000. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So saving 20 G's, I don't know what the fuck to do with that, bro.
Yeah.
To me, that's a lot of fucking money. So I rolled it over to the tattoo shop, right? Naturally, bro, that also happened to the next business. Like, after that, the opportunity came up next door. There was a salon that didn't make it, and they came in and put a bunch of money in, made it nice, and they didn't make it. So if my landlord gave me one shot, it worked, gave me a second shot, and it hasn't failed yet, Guess who he came to for the third option?
Of course.
You get what I mean? And he's like, hey,
You
what
want the
do you
third?
want to
You
do with
want
the third one?
unit?
Bro, and you got to understand, I'm like, don't get it fucked up, bro. Now the man you're speaking to can handle another 10 shops. I got a team of infrastructure. I know how to do it, right? Bro, that guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing. That guy was still thinking he was up here. That guy still had a drug problem, you know. I don't know if you've seen, I spoke about it recently on my Instagram, but I used to do a bunch of cocaine.
Yeah, I think you said you was 2
2
years. 2 years
yeah,
clean now.
I'm officially 2 years clean, and it's been the most busiest year of my 2 years of my life. I've gained the most, you know, all of that, and all I'm getting at is I just wasn't the best version of myself yet, but I was hitting those numbers being that person,
Right.
you know. So I took a shot with the salon, and then I realized I did the same thing again that I did with the tattoo shop. I don't cut women's hair.
Right.
Now I got a business that I got to cut women's hair at. So naturally, I got to fucking outsource everybody again, right? What I realized is this is a part of my business model now. How will you attract people that do what you want them to do, but will want to be in your location? Well, the location has to be pretty fucking dope.
Right.
And that's what I did. I was like, all right, man, I'm going to make these locations cool. They're going to have aesthetics that people aren't using yet or whatever. And long story short, man, I end up with 3 businesses. Okay. I opened up Modern Muse Salon in 2020. So if you do math on that, the middle of the fucking pandemic.
Right.
Okay. That was retarded.
I'm like,
it was not smart. That was my ego. 100%, bro. I didn't, again, I had saved up the money, right? At this point, I paid back with a tattoo shop. I obviously paid back those 10 G's. I made a little bit of money. We probably had another 25. And we decided, all right, fuck it. We're going to go into the salon. And it wasn't because, I say it's ego because of the fact that I can't go work it. But I was just looking at it as in a bigger scale. Now it works great. But you're looking at my business and you got barber, tattoo, and salon. So men, women, and men and women in the middle.
Right.
Naturally, bro, we're gonna share a lot of clients.
Right.
It makes perfect sense. A dude comes to get his haircut, his chick don't want to be here. Oh, I'll go check out the salon.
Right.
You come with your lady to go get her hair done. Oh, I'm gonna go check out the barber shop. Right. It just made sense at the time. I will say that's something that I thought would work, and in retrospect, it did. Right. But all I'm getting at is 2020, bro, and money was coming harder. You know, everybody what they were on, you know what I mean? And I barely skidded by, bro. Again, Phil giving me the option to pay late, to pay in payments, to do all these things that no other fucking person would do. You get what I'm saying? Help me get through it. You get what I mean? And once we broke through that situation, I'm not going to tell you we were making any money from the salon and we weren't making any money from the tattoo shop, but at least those businesses were existing, paying their own bills, not making profit. So now the money that I would make from my barbershop that was plenty, we were able to use it on something else. So naturally, barbershop's hella cracking. Everything else is kind of a shot in the dark. My next business isn't going to be another thing that I don't know how to do.
Right.
So I naturally said, I'm opening another barbershop. And we opened up the Chula Vista location, which is not the location we're at now either. We've moved,
right?
You know, but that was my second barbershop. And I remember with that barbershop being like, all right, I'm doing everything different. I'm going to make it super nice. I'm going to do all these kind of things. And, you know, that was it, bro. I went from one barbershop to tattoo shop to salon, immediately into the Chula Vista shop, which then made it my 4th business.
The grind was real.
It was just like, I looked at it like, bro, like, you gamble? Okay. I'm not that big of a gambling man, but if I do, you know, I'll play some blackjack.
I have been thinking about doing blackjack.
I play blackjack, bro. You know, and all I'm going to get at, bro, is everyone will tell you, right, you go and you hit on blackjack and whatever. Let's say you make $100, you know? Everyone's going to tell you grab that and dip. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But if you never have had $100, losing it don't feel like that, if that makes any sense, right? Yeah. What I mean is like, whatever, let's say I show up with $100 and I turn that into $300. If I lose with losing $200 and still having my $100, you don't look at it the same. You're like, whatever, I never had that money anyway. That's how I've always looked at money. And I think that's luckily in my situation. I never felt like that, like, I never had money, so I didn't know what to do with it. So naturally, let's just do another business, right? This money amount that was for us between 20 to 40K all the time seemed to be enough to open up a brand new business, right? So I said, fuck it. And that's just how we led into doing like more and more, you know? So every shop was like that, bro. After Chula Vista came Escondido. And same thing, bro. I had a partner, a homie. I still do. He's my partner up there. My boy Eric. He tattoos. He owns the shop next door. He owns a tattoo shop next to my Escondido shop. He was like, "Hey, bro, this is location. I got a little money. Let's tag up and let's do this." And that was the first time that things got easier. I'm a strong believer in the idea of if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with others. Right? That was my first time learning that. I could have done that shop by myself, but doing it with someone else made it faster, easier. You have someone else to be responsible. Now, if I realized I can have multiple shops because other people care about it too. I don't have to be the only one caring about it. So naturally, Escondido came after that. North Park, which is this one, came after that. Then I decided to move my Chula Vista shop to where we're at now, which is on 3rd Avenue in Chula Vista, and like where all the bars are and everything.
Right.
And then Altai came after that, bro. And all of it was just kind of the same idea, bro. I've never had money. Now I got some money. Spend it. Here I got it. Spend it. And I won't lie, now you see all the baskets. You know, I got a bunch of baskets, and you start seeing like, oh shit, I accidentally did the right thing. You get what I mean? Accidentally. Because that's one thing I always wanted, bro. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to do, bro. It just kind of happened. And obviously in any of those shops or anything else, I can speak into detail on it, but that's really how it went, bro. It was just fuck it. If we lose the money, we've never had it anyway. You feel me? And then I always felt like I had that back on the thing to catch me. Like if everything goes wrong, to this day, if everything goes wrong, bro, I'll just cut hair. You know what I'm saying?
I still got that.
I still got that.
So I still got that skill. No matter what, I can still make money.
Exactly, you know?
And before I even get you out of here, what brought the name Kutthroat?
This goes back to that first guy. Also, so you know, I got time. I can tap into any little details you need or whatever. The name Kutthroat came from also on accident. I didn't pick the name. I'm not gonna lie, I hated the name. I had to kind of grow to like it, you know. But what happened is the guy, the tattooer that I told you I first opened up with.
Yeah.
He was really trying to control the start. Remember, like where I was telling you he wanted to be in, like, own it and this and that. So he was giving me ideas of, hey, you should name it this, you should name it that. And a long time ago before that, I remember he had this idea of opening up a bar and he wanted to call it Scumbag Social Club. So when we started doing the barber thing and with the tattoo, he's like, oh, you know what? You should name it something like Kutthroat Social Club. And I didn't really like it. I didn't like the ring of it. I was like, whatever. But I remember getting closer to the deadline. We had to start making logos to make this business happen and shit. And I said, fuck it. And I played with it. And then I Googled, and I'm not going to lie, there was some shop in Amsterdam called Kutthroat Social Club, spelled normal with a C. So I was like, all right. And I told him, and he's like, just put a K.
Yeah.
And it was so stupid. Like back to my first clothing line, it was just someone saying something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking just put a K on it. Deadline came for logos, bro. I designed everything with a K. And the rest is history, bro. That's it. He was like, hey, you should name it this. And we were forced to go with it. And over time, we just dropped it. So at the start, it was Kutthroat Social Club. We did that for a couple years. Then we started making clothes. Like, that's one part I kind of missed on or whatever. We started doing clothing. And I'm sure that makes sense. That just goes back to me knowing how to make clothes, being a graphic designer. It was just obvious, you know? But when we started doing that, I dropped it to Kutthroat Brand. Because then I feel like I don't got a ceiling. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I want with it. And naturally from Kutthroat Brand, even though that's still what it is, now we're just Kutthroat to everyone. And everywhere you go, you know, that's pretty much what you see, you know, or that or the K or whatever. But it was that simple, bro. Again, I'm not going to lie, I didn't believe in it. Again, for anybody listening and shit, bro, it's not going to ever be what you think it's going to be.
Right.
If it was, then, you know what I'm saying? Then it'd be a whole different story. But for me, it was never that. Every part of my story was like, it was on accident. And then the intention was on accident. And then the work behind it was on purpose, you know. But that's where the name came from, bro. The name came from that dude, and we obviously took it so far that it has nothing to do with him, none of that, you know. Obviously, I own every piece of the name. I never had to worry about none of that. But then there's other parts of the name that go with it, like the tagline. If you heard it, get fucking familiar. That came from Caesar, bro. You know, we're probably 1 year into tattooing. 1 second, so don't worry, bro. It's all good. So yeah, bro, the you know, that's how the brand came. And then the tagline, get fucking familiar, came from us being at this barber battle. It was actually Sandro's barber battle. He had it at Flux. And that night, bro, we did well, bro. I think I won like 3 categories that night. You know, I got like 3 belts on. It was like belt trophies.
Like that, huh?
Yeah, bro. And I remember the first time I won, my homie Caesar's in the background, and he's with his dad. He's with a whole bunch of local homies just supporting. And then he's like, it's Kutthroat. You know, it's fucking Kutthroat. You know, that's one. I win the second time, and he's like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's Kutthroat. Fucking, you better get familiar. Right. And I'm just hearing this in the back while I'm going up accepting the trophy and shit. And by the third time we hit, bro, belligerently, you know, like on some drunk shit, hear my homie in the back. It's a Kutthroat thing, baby. Get fucking familiar. And I remember that just like hitting, right? And bro, you go it was not till maybe 2 years after that, bro, where I'm really structuring the brand and the colors and the logos and things that are gonna be now forever, that are now obvious, you know. We do everything purple, you know, things like that. And I was looking for a tagline, bro, and nothing made more sense because it was authentic than get fucking familiar, you know. And that's where that came from right there. So the name and the tagline didn't come from me. The work behind it, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously.
The visuals of making it how it literally looks and all of that, that was me. You know, that's my concept. That's me talking with my friends. I'm very proud to say when you see this logo everywhere, and my boy Ethos did this. If you know who Ethos is, he does dope ass calligraphy. He's all over the city. He does it all in my shops. Everything that you see calligraphy, that's him. He's a friend of mine. He made that logo. My K logo you see everywhere. One of my best friends from back in the day, Gabe, he made that logo. Everything that is Kutthroat is authentic in the way that we made it. Now, it was definitely my job as the leader of everything to make it palatable to everybody else, you know, in a way that you can consume it. But I'm very proud to say that I don't need to sit here. I mean, obviously I'm in position here, you know, I don't need to sit here and be like, everything was me, every part of it. I always knew I was a genius. It was not like that at all.
You stated you got a team to
get
bro.
All this shit cracking. To this day, bro, I have a fucking team. I'm a big Nipsey person, and you know, he'll tell you, bro, it's like, you got to also give it to my team. I look this good because of my team. You feel me? And that's where I am lucky. Everybody fell in place. You know, my photographer is a friend. My videographer is my brother. My partners are people I went to barber school with. Anything that has something to do with people that were actually in my life, and that's how Kutthroat came. You get what I mean? Now, the persona that we now have, it was all done purposeful. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's how we ended up here with that part of it. Yeah.
With everything you went through, how has it shaped you as a father now?
That one's a tough one, okay? Because I feel like I'm learning that every day still, okay? My daughter, I have one daughter, you know, she's 10. She lives in a way that I am grateful for, as far as she doesn't struggle in the ways that I did, right? Dad, can we go to the store, like liquor store? You know, Dad, can I have this? Yup. Dad, can I buy this on Amazon? Yup. Go clean the dog shit. You know, like, I wasn't like that for me as a kid. I'm sure it was like same thing for you, bro. You had to do a lot more work to get it. So I am lucky to say that I'm on my way. I'm not perfect there, to where I provide for my kid well. But I can't say that with that comes a lot of time, right? I'm not around that much. You know, tonight she definitely got put to sleep without seeing me. You know, she was with me earlier, so it's not like that either, you know. But she even understands that her time with me is limited. She would rather just ride around with me all day or be with me in my office while I'm officing and just being around me, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not around her as much as I want to be, right? And I also have this like mind frame of like, look, man, she's young. I'm gonna do everything I can for her, and she's gonna live this awesome life later. but we know that that's not necessarily what she cares about.
Right.
So being very candid and being very real, bro, today, I'm up in my office. There's a lot going on. My kid's there. And, you know, I asked my lady to go grab, can you take the kid with you? Because it's just a lot going on right now, right? That situation, like, you know, my kid, she tries to be super strong around me. You feel me? Because I'm like that. She sees that, you know what I mean? All day she sees me businessing, you know? So she tries to be very strong. But what I'm telling you, I don't like, and this happened to today still. She goes next door and she starts crying. Like, I just wish dad had time for me or stuff like that. So what I'm getting at with that is it's not perfect. I wish I was a great father as well. I would be lying to say I'm a great father, because I think to say I'm a great father, you have to do all of it. You got to put the time behind it. You got to, you know what I mean, do all that. And for me, it's not like that just yet. Now, I have a great system behind me that allows her to have a lot of people around her. Grandma helps, brother helps, you know, a lot of people help. And she's a generally happy kid and everything's cool like that. But I know she sees that her dad is different than anybody around her. And I think that affects her in a way that right now, a kid can't really be proud of that yet. They don't understand it. Right. So right now it's just that is more important to him than me. And we know that's not true.
Obviously.
We know that that's why
it's like I'm doing this because of you.
For you, you know? But I'll say that struggle and that feeling of coming from nothing, knowing my parents came here with nothing and they got this much, I feel like a lot of pressure to get that much more. And it's not just for my daughter. That's, like I said, it's for my parents. It's for what they sacrifice and stuff like that. So I am going to say that every day is a little different with my daughter so far. Those are the reasons why I've decided not to have more kids, why all of these things. It has nothing to do with not wanting them. But I feel like that would be very selfish.
That time that you have to give to them.
More and put another wrench in the situation. You know what I mean? That's going to continue, you know, that's going to make it even harder for you, you know? And right now I don't want to do that. So to answer that question, her being in my life is the reason I'm the man I am today. But the man that I am today, unfortunately, that idea doesn't roll parallel with being the greatest father.
The father that I need to be for her.
And that's something that I don't want to lie. A lot of people seem to make it look like they do it well or they have it all together. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't got this shit together, bro. Like it's naturally so much that I'm doing every day that I'm straight up trying. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm trying every day to do the best I can. And I hope at the end of this journey, she looks back at it like, I get it. You feel me? And it was all worth it. But that isn't guaranteed. And all I am gonna say is I'm like a big believer in a lot of things, bro. I'm a big reader. If you look into anybody that has ever actually created generational wealth for their family, that there's always this one person that sacrifices their actual life and the way that they're seen to get there. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
If you look back at your Rockefellers, at your, you know, anyone that has done anything, the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, the man doing, and I'm not trying to say only men can do this.
Right, the person who's bringing in the breadwinner.
Exactly. At a level that is going to be very, very big, a legacy level, which is what I'm hoping to do, you know, that is not going to come with a lot of time. And that's why I have a lot of legacy things where I have plans on making sure I leave her money, making sure I leave her businesses, making sure that I do things in my community. I'm right now very invested in getting my neighborhood a sign, because every other neighborhood has one and we don't, you feel me? Like I have plans right now to make that come out of pocket and figure out ways to fund this so that maybe one day when I'm not here and she has to have those thoughts or those ideas of like, my dad sacrificed everything, you know, she can at least see, she can drive her kids around and be like, my dad helped put that there.
This was never here.
Exactly. And those are the things that come with answering your question. I feel like at the end of my story, everyone from the superficial side, everyone that looks in will be like, that man was amazing. My daughter thinking that, I'm not sure that's going to be the same. So I think to answer that question, I think time will tell if I'm good at it or not, or if I'm being I'm going to tell you, I don't think I'm a bad father. right? Like in the way of, I'm not mean, I'm not anything like that, right? But
just the time that you're able to give.
if I'm telling you right now, bro, that if my kid is living a life that 90% of the time she's with her mother and 10% of the time she is with me, if you just make that a stat, I'm losing this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not doing well. You feel me? But the idea is in 2-3 years, I can take as much time off as I want
and give it back, and hopefully.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean like you can make up for anything.
Of course.
But I think at this point and in the world we're living in, bro, we only have 2 shots. Okay. And unfortunately, if I sat around and tried to be the best father I could be every day, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. And like we said earlier, bro, I feed other people other than her.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it becomes a little more selfless than it might seem. But that doesn't ever mean your child is going to understand that.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. I feel like that was a fantastic answer and a great way to even wrap this up.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for even coming on here. Definitely giving us all this time that you gave us and the games that you gave us 100%. So to let people know how they can find you and anything else that you got coming up.
Obviously, you can find me directly on Instagram at J.TERALTA. That's JTERALTA. To keep up with anything I'm doing, man, at Kutthroat Brand, Kutthroat Media, Kutthroat Tattoo.
For sure.
I'm also involved in a store inside of my tattoo shop called 1904 Collectives. We sell fitteds, rare fitteds. We sell jerseys. We sell kicks. We sell all kinds of stuff like that. Like I said, I'm also involved in Mason's Pomade. They're a big sponsor. Everything I do is also related to them. Modern Muse Salons. And then as far as just where I'm heading in the future, just it seems like right now, man, I've been put in the situation where a lot of people from the outside in are telling me I'm doing things correctly. Okay. But it doesn't feel like that every day yet. So right now, just my micro goal, not a macro goal. I got a lot of big goals like everybody else does, right? My goal right now is just to make sure that I can keep this afloat, make sure everyone's making money. And if I do make any more moves, I just want to make sure that they're done with the team in consideration. You know, because I won't lie, I'm at the point where I could sit back and stop building anything and I will be able to feed myself. You get what I mean? But I look around and like I told you, bro, I want to be able to feed everybody. And that mentality might not take me all the way, but I wouldn't be happy if I didn't at least try.
Right.
You know, so with that does come lots of things, bro. The first, you know, you're going to see a lot of collabs coming out. I'm going to collab with a lot of San Diego brands coming out. That's me extending a hand and just being like, hey, man, we don't got to compete against each other. We should be on the same page. Kind of like what the rap scene's doing in San Diego and stuff like that. I'm trying to do that in the way of same thing, bro. Anybody that needs any help with business, anybody that needs anything printed, anybody that just needs general direction or mentorship or stuff like that, I'd like to head in that direction because just like what you're doing, bro, this is helping people. And I think that a lot of the times, bro, most people don't grow or don't think they can do it because no one believed in them.
Right.
And sitting here, you know, a lot of people in positions like mine would love to be like, I'm self-made. Right?
Right.
I ain't self-made, bro. My parents made me. Mr. Phil made me. My child made me. My friends made me. There's a lot of people that can say, bro, I helped him
elevate.
Exactly. And like I said, bro, just my own heart, my own everything, bro. It's not going to allow me to get to a place where I'm so far from everybody else without being able to be like, yo, I gave them an opportunity. I gave them a chance.
You always try.
Exactly, man. And my next moves, bro, are hopefully you seeing less of me and you seeing more of my people.
Like you said, you want to just fall off to the wayside.
Exactly, man. You know, like it's just, I learned something a long time ago, bro. So when I became a barber and I did really well and I started winning a lot of trophies and awards, someone told me something one day that really stuck. And it was like, yeah, that's cool that you turned yourself into that. But like, it doesn't mean nothing if you can't create the next person. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's now really important to me, bro. I feel like I employ people like me. I employ people that look like me. I employ people that are in the same positions at me. And I just want them to look at me like, damn, like, you know, a lot of people do that. Like, oh man, if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Right.
bro, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And what I mean is, look at me, bro. I'm not perfect. I'm not the best looking person. I am not the smartest person. I am not the most well off person. All I do is just move with intention. You know what I mean? Purpose. And if you're doing shit like that, man, you can't really fall off. I have this big belief, dog, if you don't know exactly where you want to be tomorrow, right? If you don't know how you would spend the money if you had it tomorrow,
Right.
bro, you don't have no business getting it. You get what I mean? Because for me, it's like that, bro. I ask people on my team this like that. All right, bro, today I give you $100,000. What are you doing? Right? You have people being like, fuck, bro, I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be 1,000. How are you gonna buy a house with $100,000?
Right. I was about to say.
I mean, you get what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
right? That's A. B. Oh, bro, I would buy myself this whip, this and that. All right, so y'all would give you $100,000, and in a couple months you wouldn't have nothing.
Yeah, because you just spent it on a whip.
Exactly.
And then them car payments and some other shit.
And I believe in the cheesiest things, bro, because I learned them the cheesiest ways. And what I'm getting at, bro, you have to write things down, right? So I say I write
That'd
things.
be me. That helped me check shit off my list.
Exactly.
And I feel good checking the shit off.
From having a little fucking, a little notepad to I have like a bunch of dry erase boards.
Yeah.
Right, bro? If you don't know where you're headed, then I don't see how you're going to get there, right? How you're going to stay on track. I don't want to give away all like my secrets of where I'm heading, because obviously a lot of my industry's competitive. I have some big moves coming, right? But I have them in chronological order on how I'm going to get there. And that doesn't only have a time, it has a money amount. You feel me? It has and when I mean a time is like when I'm doing it, but it also has a how much time I have to give to it, right? And what I'm getting at is, you tell me right now, hey, bro, I'll give you $50,000. What are you doing with it? I know.
You got that.
You give me $100,000? I know. You give me $1 million, bro? I know. I win the lottery for $100 million. I know what I'm doing with that money. And I can tell you that none of that is a Rolls Royce. None of that shit is these things. I truly believe that I'm here to help people up. And what I'm getting at is, my mentor, like I said, Mr. Phil, bro, no one would know how much he has, how much he's involved in, all this kind of shit. And I'm going to tell you, till this day, he sweeps in front of the shop.
And they still think like, oh, he just be sweeping.
Bro, and I'm going to tell you, bro, I don't know for sure, but this was for sure worth double-digit M's. You feel me? Oh, yeah. Right? Bro, this fool sweeps the trash in front of my business every fucking day. And you know what he's been telling me? He's like, bro, obviously he doesn't talk to me. Right. He's like, if you can't even keep the sidewalk of your business clean, right? How are you going to manage all of your business?
Right.
And those are things that really like, have stuck with me. You know what I mean? And long story short, Ran, he has gotten in, I know he has sons, bro. He gets in fights with his sons because he helps me so much, because he does all these things. And all I'm getting at, bro, at the end of the day, I think my story, I'm going to end it with this. My story is, I put the work in. I had the vision, but no one believed in me. I had to work really hard. I had to prove that I could be a good barber, a good business owner, before someone gave me a chance to be a better barber and a better business owner. Right. But once that happened, bro, it became like easy. Right. Once you've done it one time, bro, you can do, I'm going to be 1,000. You guys showed up today. This is professional. You guys knew what you were doing. You get what I'm getting at? There's no fumbling here.
Right.
When you move like that, bro, it's going to be easy to do it over and over and over. And then
that's what it's been.
And replicate those wins. Right. So all I'm getting at with everything, bro, is you have to do the right thing long enough for someone to, this also comes back to what we talked about. You got to be the best you can be long enough for someone to see something in you. And you don't know who that's going to be.
Exactly.
You don't know what they're going to do, bro. And when that happens, and when you're there and you're living it, bro, it's unexplainable, bro. I don't think there's a lot of people, A, in the city, A, around me, A, that I know. I mean, B, that I know. All I'm getting at is, bro, I wake up in the morning, okay? And like anybody else, my phone guides me. What does that mean? Whatever texts are coming in, whatever things you have to do, your schedule reminds you. But if I want to say, fuck it, I'm not doing anything, or I'm supposed to go do that, but I'm going to work on a shirt today, or I'm going to plan my next shop, or I'm going to do all these things, bro. I get to wake up every day and choose to do what I want to do. And every day I choose to do the right thing for my business, right? But I don't see people around me doing that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see anyone really doing that, right? And what I mean in the way where it doesn't really hurt, right? I can take a couple weeks off and my people in charge will handle the businesses, right? Now, I don't like doing that or none of that, but what I'm getting at is
Like you can. It's a possibility.
I can, right? And not to inflate my ego or nothing, bro, but that feeling is unexplainable. Like I a lot of times, if you see how I talk on Instagram and stuff, I talk like that in real life. But what I mean is, like, I let you know how I feel. I think one of my main things of why people fuck with me, or why I've been successful, or why I've been able to gain opportunity, because at the end of the day, bro, that's all life is. It's opportunity.
Right.
You need to be ready when that opportunity comes. I think I have just got, like, the reason I've gotten any of that, bro, is because, like, A, I attracted it. B, I didn't fumble it, right? And these are the simple things that's like, bro, like, I believe in that. If you borrow $100, pay me back $100.
Right.
No one's asking you to give me more than that. No one's asking you to give me that. But if you make a promise, bro, you got to do that.
Right.
Because I learned that, bro. Borrowing 10 G's and being able to pay it back led to now. I haven't used it, but I have the option to borrow $500,000 if I need to. Now, I ain't going to make a decision like that and fuck it up. Right. I would still rather do that on my own. But imagine the possibilities.
And it also goes back to having options.
Exactly, bro. And this is the same guy speaking that when I'm telling you I got all these things in my life that allow me to move a certain way, bro, I got a shitty credit score. You feel me? I have evictions on my shit. I've got my cars repossessed. You feel me? All of that. To this day, that shit shows on my record, right? But none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? None of that matters because of the places I've been able to put myself in. You get what I'm saying? And, like, if we would have gone back, bro, go back to that guy that Caesar said, hey, bro, you should be a barber. If you did that whole and showed me on the whole fucking life, you get what I'm getting at, bro? I would have been like, dog, there's no fucking way. I ain't gonna be a barber. Barbers don't make no fucking money. And I'm just a testament to that, bro. And now I think the biggest flex is this. Anyone that watches this or anybody that really knows me, the first title they're going to put on me is, he's a barber, right? And I'm a barber that took it somewhere, you know? I'm going to tell you now, I ain't a barber. I don't wake up and do barber stuff. I'm in that industry, right? But I'm so many things now, I don't even know what to call it.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
you wear so many different hats.
I just don't know what to call it no more, bro. And I think that is the part that's beautiful. And if I can just inspire anybody to do anything, bro, I just want to really end it with do the baby steps, right? We talked at the start of this, do something every day.
Right.
People think that there's nothing you can do every day. And I tell people, you're fucking lying.
Right.
You're lying
fucking
to yourself.
Always something you can do every day.
Oh, I want to have just because I like to use general things. Oh, you want to have a clothing line. Smooth. Think about the name today. Tomorrow, lock down the name. The next day, sketch down on a fucking napkin the name. On the next day, post, hey, I'm looking for a graphic designer.
There you go.
On the 5th day, talk to some graphic designers and get budgets.
And look how fast you moved in 5 days.
That's my literal point, right? And then 2 weeks in, you have a logo. Next week, you're printing on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
All I'm getting at is, bro, you can really do that shit in fucking days. And for someone that now works like that, bro, I post t-shirts and shit, bro. Sometimes the t-shirts I post, I designed them that day and I'm printing them in 2 days.
Yeah.
You get what I'm getting at?
Exactly.
And like again, you know, I'm not sure how much of the start comes out in this, but I'm the kind of guy that anytime I need money, bro, I'll just come up with a new hustle.
Yeah. Like
what's a new hustle, bro? I'm no longer selling you weed, right? But what's up, bro? You need a shirt?
Right. I got that too.
Yep. Tomorrow I'll have another shirt. Literally, you'll see. I'm posting another shirt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? All I mean is, like, you can crowdfund in ways that people don't think, right? And now don't get me fucked up. I appreciate everybody out there. I have a fan base now. I have a strong structure of people that support me, right? And with them, I'd be nothing, right? But if you have that, why are you going to fuck it up? Like, in the way of, why are you not going to produce?
Right.
Why are you going to not do these things? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And for me, my authenticity, being straight up to people, And of course, bro, following through with what you say
Exactly.
is kind of really
It's major.
You get what I mean? And I'll tell you, sitting here, what is it, May 24th today,
The
right?
24th or 25th?
The 24th.
24th.
Yeah, it don't really
whatever.
matter, right? And all I was getting at, I'm gonna tell you that the person that I hope I come off as, and the person that I'm speaking like, bro, I became that person, and then tomorrow I'll be a little bit more of that person. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just strictly working on it every day, and it's not rocket science, bro. It's nothing special, and it literally is just that, bro.
Day to day.
It's day to day, and making sure when you go to sleep, bro, at least feel good that you did something today. And if you didn't, write down the thing you're going to do tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know? And that's going to get you so far, bro. It's going to get you so far.
Keep you going.
You have no clue how far that'll get you because the people, you know, that we all like, when we talk success, bro, you have on a level of success, bro, put between me and Jeff Bezos, bro, there's a lot of space there.
Right.
Okay. There's a lot of fucking space. But things I'll tell you that we have in common are a lot of the same things. You get what I'm saying? You move with intention. You stay consistent. You figure out how to problem solve. If you're the kind of person that runs away from your problems, you're not doing yourself any service. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm the person where, dude, things get stressful. You know what I mean? Things fuck up and you got to get through it. You know what I mean? I'd like to fill them in on something just because we didn't tap in, but like, I'm going to tell people some things right here that I think are the realest things. These are the things that people respect me for. But check this out, man. We live in this vain world where you judge me based on my Instagram bio. Okay? If you read my bio right now, it says my name. It says I'm a 42-time award-winning barber. It says I own a fuckload of businesses. Okay? I want people to know this. I've won 42 times. To be honest, it's probably a little more than that. I've lost a few, and I haven't counted all my trophies in a while. But all I'm getting at is to win 40 plus times, I showed up 150 times. So if you want me to put my L's on there, I'm a 110-time losing barber. Who people don't count that.
Exactly.
Okay. I told you at the start, I failed at fucking 3 businesses before I succeeded at 1.
100.
No one counts that. You get what I'm saying? I moved my City Heights shop once. That was a failure. No one counts that. I've moved my Chula Vista shop 1 time. That is a failure.
They just see the wins.
100%.
Like you said in the bio.
All you see is the post. And I'm like that. My Instagram's a highlight reel. But how I speak to people and stuff, it's not.
They know the real.
They know, you know? And those are things I want to know. Like, I'm sitting right here and all of this is awesome. I walk through all my businesses and it feels great. But at the end of the day, bro, I got, like I was telling you, I got lawsuits I got to deal with.
Right.
I got envy on my own team. You feel me? I got lots of micro things that the world don't see and can't teach you how to deal with. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you get ready for your homie switching up?
Exactly. It's because it's like, you could tell me, oh, just cut him off. But it's like, you don't actually know what that relationship is with me and him, what's going to happen after I cut him off. It's a lot of different things that go into easy. It's just cut him off.
100%. You know what I mean? And to end it, bro, that's my story right there, bro. My story is just continuing on, being real with yourself. Make sure you count your losses as much as you count your wins. You feel me? And that'll keep you humble long enough to have a chance to make it.
Because you know how long it took or how hard it was to actually get that one win.
You know how you hear that whole, like, you need your 10,000 hours? You need your 10,000 hours to realize you need 20.
You got to put some more time in because the practice don't never stop.
There, bro. And that's all I'm getting at is, you know, if you highlight real me right now, bro, I've become this entrepreneur in the last 5 years. 5 years. Fuck, man. I know we counted 5 shops, but businesses, bro, things that I make money off, I want people to know, bro, I got about 25 different incomes.
Damn.
Okay. Now, some of them give me $5 a month. Some of them give me 5,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? Everything's a little different, but I work at all of those things every day. And once those things are set up and they're working well, I'm thinking about what's going to be 20. I mean, or 22.
26 or
you
whatever.
Get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm on. And if you keep that kind of pace, at some point you're going to look back and be like, what the fuck? There's such a space between everybody else and myself. And this might be one thing that comes with a little ego, bro. But when I look, if we're talking just barber industry, and we're talking barber industry in San Diego, the amount of work that I put in, I don't look at anybody like competition. I don't think there's somebody even in the same league as me. And that might not sound great to some people on the other side of this. Some people might not want to swallow that. But I would guarantee you don't work as hard as me. You don't stress as hard as me. You don't think about everyone on your team as much as me. And because of that, that's why it's so easy to work towards the common goal every day. And naturally, if I'm working on my thing, I told you earlier, man, I hope you work on, not you, but anybody, I hope you work on one thing a day so that in a year you have 365 things you did towards your business or your dreams.
Exactly. Whatever those things was that you was working on every day.
Exactly, right? I hope you do at least that so that you have 365 things at the end of this year. But if you do that, just know that I'm doing 10 or 15 a day, and that means I'm in the 5,000 to 7,000 things a year, right? Naturally, we can be moving at the same pace, but
I'm doing more.
Because I don't plan on stopping. You feel me? And that just comes with repetition, learning how to fucking do it, keep doing it over and over. And that's the only reason that I hope some people look at this and they're like, yo, it ain't that hard. I just have to start. Because then once you start, everything becomes easy, bro.
Right.
You know, let's say you're a cook and you want to make fucking sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, and your first couple sandwiches suck. You're going to have to figure out how to make that shit better, right? And that's one thing that I want to just make sure everybody knows, bro. Mad businesses, but I got mad problems, okay? None of them run perfect yet. You feel me? Go look at some of my Yelp reviews, bro. It don't look. Some of the Yelp reviews don't seem like we're the best barbers in the world. You feel me? Or in the city or whatever we want to look at ourselves like, but we are. You can't control these other aspects of shit. And most people don't move based on the idea that that could happen to them. You know, for us, we had bad Yelp reviews. Go look on our Instagram. We made a bad Yelp review into one of the dopest haircutting videos you see. I don't know if you've seen it, but it starts with a guy writing a bad Yelp review about us. He gets kidnapped. We put him in the barber chair. We cut his hair, throw him back in. He deletes his whole thing and says, my bad, this is the best haircut I ever got. We did that because we had bad reviews. People would tell us, oh, you know, yeah, you guys are cool, this and that, but look at your guys' reviews, right? All right, cool. Look, I just made fun of myself. I made fun of myself and my shop is still cracking.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's just how I look at anything. You get what I mean? Like, I don't look at any, like, you throw something on, there's nothing you can tell me that I don't know about myself. And if you tell me something about myself that I don't like or I don't want to hear, bro, I'm going to turn that into some way of motivation or fuel. Yeah. You know? And I think really, really to just, you know, and that only comes with learning, bro. And I just want people to go out and learn. You feel me? Because once you get through one chapter and another chapter, and fuck a chapter, I want to say like a level. Once you keep leveling up, bro, you see you got so much work to do, bro. Like me tonight. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna go do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna go hang out with my loved ones for a second or whatever. But I end my night the same every night. You feel me? I read a little. I learn a little bit, and I'm not gonna tell you that I'm always in a book, but bro, I'm on YouTube learning something.
That's me.
And when I tell you something is anything, bro. Sometimes I'm learning about some walruses. Sometimes I'm learning how to fucking put up drywall, right? But all these things help you in what you're doing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when I built my first shop, bro, I'm sure you could assume that shit went terrible. Now, bro, my shop's come up smooth.
Right.
I know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing.
I know how to go around all these things. And that's all I'm telling people, man. I'll tell you guys this because I tell my barbers this every day and they know it. Man, if you're worrying about being outside every day, if you're worrying about how you're seen, if you're only worrying about how to attract the opposite sex, you feel me? If you're out there talking about you're a bag chaser, but you don't really
have a bag or one to chase,
no judging, no ill will. I hope you know that if you chill out for 30 days and just watch YouTube videos on what you want to be, okay, for 30 days, I guarantee you'll be hella closer to that thing you want to do.
Just with the knowledge alone.
Of course, And I think we live in this world that because we see everybody doing it or we hear it or we've heard these things, I'm sure you could agree, oh yeah, you hear everybody talking about LLCs, you hear everybody talking about taxes, you hear everybody talking about stocks and Bitcoin, and everyone will tell you these, oh, get a Roth IRA, get all these things.
Right.
You got one?
Right.
Because I do. So why are you telling me how that works? You got life insurance? Because my people ain't gonna do no GoFundMe.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just, and bro, you think that comes with ego? Nah, bro, that comes with trial and error. You get what I mean? That comes with like really
learn
learning
this
it.
shit.
I can right now show you how to open up an LLC because I did 9 of them. You feel me? That's not because I'm some fucking genius. It's because I just did it enough times. And I think right now that's what the world is doing. They're attempting to get it easy. Everyone wants a trap. Everyone wants a rap. Everyone wants a scam. That's cool, bro. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But name someone that it really worked for.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And the one thing that I'm very comfortable with, bro, I used to worry about people kicking my door in to rob me, to cops. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Bro, now I like wake up and I'm like I don't have those feelings. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes I be tripping out and I'm like, oh shit. Like I be moving around with some money. I'm like, oh yeah, this is legal.
Right.
I took it out of my
I'm good
bank
with
account,
this.
right? And I just think those are the differences, bro. You know, that's, you know, it. And you know what I mean? You let me know if you got anything else. I'm
That's
gonna
straight.
start this
That's straight.
and we're good.
With that being said, it's been another episode of the Big Umbrella Podcast, and it's a wrap.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me, man.
No doubt, brother.
I hope you guys get up and do something tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? And
like he said, get up and do something.
just get up and do something. And shit, man, I'm gonna tell you guys straight up, man. If you guys need anything, just DM me. I might not answer for 2 days, but then after that, man, I'm gonna answer you guys. And I just, you know what I mean? I'm here to help, man. I honestly think I'm lucky to be here. And I just want to help somebody else out. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I'm also not gonna lie. You know, you help somebody else out, that
come back tenfold.
Karma pays you, bro.
Oh yeah, it come back tenfold, for sure. Well, let's get some tacos, nigga. Can we really get some tacos? You trying to get some tacos? Let's get some tacos, nigga.